So Ethan, I brought you here today to you probably
Hello,
know
everybody.
this guy. You probably know the most out of anyone I know, or at least the closest to as much as me when it comes to Nintendo stuff. So I
Yeah,
thought I'd bring you along today to talk about the Switch 2.
it's my favorite successor to the Switch after the Sound Clock Alarmo.
You can't say that yet.
Oh,
The
I can't?
trailer hasn't even came out yet. What can I say?
Oh, sorry.
But
Sorry, I just broke the fourth wall.
yeah, breaking the fourth wall. Did you buy it off the black market already?
Yeah, my dad works with Nintendo, so like I already know about it.
Yeah, the
And I
the
played Mario Kart 9 and Breath of the Wild 3.
wow, Breath of the Wild 3. They
Yeah.
skipped renaming it. They just went straight with Breath of the Wild 3 on this one.
Yeah, because like Tears of the Kingdom had like spoilers in the title
That's
because
true. Yeah.
the beta name is Tears of the Dragon, and apparently I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom, but Zelda's a dragon. I don't know how or why, but if you play it, apparently she turns into a dragon.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played enough of the game to tell if you're joking or not. But
No, I just spoiled the game for you. Zelda turns into a dragon in Tears of the
damn,
Kingdom.
did she
And
really?
yeah, and also there's like ancient people that like look like furries or something like that, and they're called Zonai. And
Oh.
this is like their first game, but they're apparently like ancient people
Yeah.
who've like and because Tears of the Kingdom takes place at the end of the timeline, so it's like, what?
Where's Breath of the Wild on the timeline at this point?
I mean, right before Tears of the Kingdom, at the end
So
of
they're
all.
both at the end?
I think I don't know if it's completely confirmed, but the way that it works is the timelines like reconverge because like
Okay.
there's like three.
Yeah, there's the
There's like
three-way.
the hero and then the child and adult timeline.
Yep.
And like all three of them lead to Breath of the Wild, which
Oh.
is why like you have Korok from Wind Waker, and you have like Zora from Twilight Princess.
Yeah,
And
that makes sense.
you have Pig Ganon from whatever
He's
Fallen Hero.
in what? Link to the past? No.
Yeah, Pig Ganon is in all the Fallen Hero games. He's in
Oh.
Zelda 1. He's in Zelda 2. After you die, he's in Zelda 2. He's actually dead in that
No
one.
one, no one played that game. I guarantee. Ask 99% of people that have played a Zelda game before. If they
I don't
played
even
that
think
game, they didn't beat
I don't even think Zelda 2 honestly exists. I think
it.
it's just something we came up with, like to make it seem like A Link to the Past wasn't the best Zelda game,
Yeah, I don't.
or like to give more reason to why it is the best Zelda game. Because like you can't just be like Zelda 1 and A Link to the Past, just go straight to A Link to the Past.
Yeah, there's got to
Like
be that weird middle ground.
every game has to have their Super Mario Bros. 2.
Yeah, I was about to say, why is every like series their second game is just freaking weird?
Except Donkey Kong Country, that's their third game.
Yeah,
You have
the
Kiddy
third one's
Kong.
weird. Doesn't even
Yeah,
have Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong, no?
yeah, it's Dixie and Kitty.
So weird. Okay, so
And they added
anyways,
the Nintendo Music.
we're going off on a tangent. We
Yeah.
gotta talk about the Switch too. As we know, we're filming this Wednesday, the day before. What is today? January 15th. Yeah,
Now we have
everyone.
to give our addresses.
Yeah, presumably, the trailer for the Switch 2 is coming out tomorrow, Thursday, January 16th. That's presumably that's happening. You gotta put big old quotation marks on it. Most likely is when it's gonna happen. So
Most
before, yeah, most likely. Big old quotation marks. Where you basically gotta Actually, so I just wanted to talk about it. I've yet to talk about this on any of my channels yet. So I just wanted to give some predictions of whatever I can predict at this point that hasn't been rumored, aka basically like leaked. Anything that's been leaked, which is pretty much 99% of the console at this point. But it's still fun to predict. So we're gonna talk about some of the rumors first, just to get those out of the way. Cause they're a big point of this console launch. It's almost free advertising for Nintendo, I feel like. That all these leaks are happening.
Yeah, but there'll be less hype too if they're like,
Yeah.
4K upscaling. They're like, weird and-
Yeah.
So,
Things
so
like
what-
that could have been really cool to be unveiled if they weren't
Yeah.
leaked first.
Yeah, because Miyamoto said that he didn't want to do anything with AI.
Yeah. Which, I mean, again, they're just leaks. Big old air
Yeah.
quotes there. You gotta throw them around everywhere.
Yeah, I think it's generative AI though.
Yeah, I see it happening. I could see it also not happening. So, you know.
Yeah,
That's a
that'd be
big
pretty
old-
cool though.
Yeah, that would be how Nintendo would catch up finally,
Yeah.
instead of being 1 to 2 generations behind when it comes to graphics.
Yeah, you could play a laggy game like Scarlet and Violet in like a higher output, but it's still super laggy. Like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
pretty cool.
It's still running at like 10 frames per second, but it's just really, really like defined.
It's like even slower now too because they're also running a program in the background upscaling it.
Yeah. So,
So what-
I'm trying to remember, when did all these rumors begin? What was the first big old leak?
The first leak
Yeah.
was like in the beginning of like 2024, I think.
Was it really
It
that
was-
early? Or was that just kind of like a prediction? People starting to predict things? Was it a real leak?
I don't know. I just remember there was like talk about a 3D Mario game coming to the next Switch. And that's something that stayed with the Switch too.
Yeah.
Is like there's a 3D Mario game eventually coming.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And, like, obviously,
Yeah, I was
every-
about to say, like,
like 3D
yeah.
Mario.
Maybe they just skip out on the 3D Mario for this next generation just to
Yeah.
try it out.
Yeah, or they'll throw like a Sunshine on it or something. They'll like throw a last minute effort.
Sunshine remake. Which would be,
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
Because Sunshine wasn't supposed to be a 3D Mario game, but Mario 128 wasn't going anywhere, so they just changed it to a 3D Mario game and threw it out.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
It
that
was like a-
Sunshine wasn't originally planned.
It was like a Mario story adventure where he'd like go help people or something.
Oh. So
That's
just
why, like,
another
Piano-
Mario 64. Kind of.
No, it wasn't even like mission based, like where you get a star at the end of a platforming level. It was like you'd run around and like help people do tasks.
Oh.
Like a girl would like lose her dog and you'd have to go run and get it.
Thank
And like that's why
fucking
the-
God they changed the premise of that.
No, but if we got Mario 128 and a complete Sunshine, where it was like not a 3D Mario game, but
Oh,
it was
yeah.
complete, that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah,
'Cause
that could
Mario
have been
one-
cool.
Mario 128, I mean, like obviously it became a bunch of different things like Pikmin and Galaxy, but like
Yeah.
I think it would have been pretty cool.
It would have
'Cause-
been a huge thing. It would have been way bigger than Sunshine was.
yeah,
A way
and
bigger
then
project.
we would have had to accept like we'd have to expect like 128 sequel to come out. It'd be like Mario like 256 or something.
I'm glad. Yeah, they just keep doubling the number.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense. I'm glad what they did. It all worked out for the best. I got my favorite game of all time, Mario Galaxy, out of it. So, you know,
Yeah.
I'm okay with what
Yeah.
happened.
I got my favorite game of all time, Pikmin, out of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, everyone wins. Pikmin
Yeah.
fans, the like 2% of Nintendo fans, and then the rest of them Mario Galaxy. We're all
Yeah,
happy here.
and like those weirdos who like seeing Mario run around on a disc or whatever.
Yeah,
That definitely is.
exactly. Okay, so if
Okay,
I
so
were to think back to the leaks, I
Yeah.
think the first thing I saw, what was it? It was a blurry. It wasn't the complete first one, but it was one of the first. Like, whoa, these leaks are getting kind of real. It was a picture, I think, of a Joy-Con, and it was
Oh, yeah,
super
that.
blurry and
Yeah.
kind of grayish.
Yeah, and there was like Chinese subtitles or something. On it.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I think it
I think
was. That was when it was still a lot of people, probably people in the factories making these, having the 3D models of them, probably, and blurring out as much as possible to where you can still see what's on the screen, but not giving away too much detail so that way they don't get in trouble.
Yeah, I
But
thought I thought it looked so stupid. I thought it was like AI generated because the Joy-Con just looked like stupid.
yeah,
But then I saw the like other like makeups of the Switch, and they had those stupid looking Joy-Cons, but it's because those are the magnets.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it almost okay. My first thought processes of the Switch 2, I was on the same boat. I don't know if you remember 100% when the Switch was coming out. It
Mhm.
kind of felt like when leaks for that console, when it was still called the NX, was coming out. I they were very much, you could tell they were like, they took the Wii U concept and they tried to make it look futuristic. And I was like, that is so obviously fake.
Yeah.
But then they kind of ended up being real. I mean, not fully, but the concept of them became real, which really like made me think pretty much anything's possible. So I came into this new generation of leaks with a lot more willingness to believe in some of the stuff that was being shown. And again, I had that same thought process where it was like, I saw that Switch 2 controller and I was like, this is way too similar to the Switch 1. It seems like they're just trying to take the Switch 1 and make it look different enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That sort of like puts into question like some of the new buttons and stuff.
yeah.
Because they're on the right Joy-Con, I believe. Under the home button, there's a C button. What do you think that does?
I'm gonna talk about that later. I have a theory that I will bring up when we start talking about predictions. It's
What
one of my
about, like-
predictions.
What about the extra shoulder buttons?
I think the like big patios thingies, the ones that are under the triggers,
Yeah.
I think those are just release buttons.
Okay. Yeah.
I think
that's
I
what
think they
heard,
need
yeah.
to be more obvious because they're magnets now. They're not just going to slide off and lock in place if they don't. I feel like magnets, if you pull them hard enough, they'll still just come apart. And
Yeah, I
that
think they're gonna have like really strong magnets.
Yeah, I do too, because like if you think about it, it's gotta last for at least what, 7 years. Number
Yeah.
one. Number two, you gotta have different Joy-Cons that can come in and replace those other ones, kind of like the Switch 1. There was different colored Joy-Cons, different types of Joy-Cons you could get replaced, whatever. It's a lot easier with rails. It's a lot easier to make that. But magnets gotta be able to last. And I feel like, I guess magnets don't really wear out. Like magnetism, that doesn't really wear out. But isn't it using like an electronic magnetism?
I think so. I think magnets can wear out, but you can like repolarize them. I don't know how that'd work for the Switch.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely does need to be strong enough, but not in a way that maybe that's why the huge patio buttons on the back are so big, to really give you that much release power.
I think how the magnets work is like they have electrons that pass through the the like reality or whatever.
Oh. So it's kind of like two hands grabbing each other.
Yeah, yeah, sort of.
And
Well,
then
because
like
they polarize. It's
uh,
like there's the plus side and the minus side. You know, like the kid magnets,
yeah, yeah.
on a big
I can't
level.
tell if you're joking or not.
So there was also patents for wheel shoulder buttons, where it's like shoulder buttons, but it's like a scrolling wheel.
Oh.
I don't think those became anything,
Wait, what do you
but
mean?
Nintendo patented that. Like so, like you know, like the R button,
Yeah.
but like a wheel, and you can like scroll it.
Oh.
Like it's like a little like wheel.
Yeah, I'd be surprised
Well,
if they did anything like that.
yeah, well, it was just that Nintendo makes a lot of weird patents that they
Oh,
never use anything with,
yeah.
and like people are like, "Oh, that's gonna be on the Switch too," and like, "What's the purpose? What
Yeah.
would you want that for?"
What would you ever need to, I mean, I guess like if they end up making the Joy-Con, the right one specifically, a mouse of some sort that you can put on the table, and maybe you could scroll, like use that as a scroll wheel, like a mouse when it's down on
Yeah,
the table. I could see that, but I don't
new
know.
Mario Paint.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that would be so cool.
Well, new Mario Paint just became Mario Maker.
That is, yeah, yeah, but they're different.
It has the fly mini game, and it has a bunch of themes
I think it was,
from.
I think it was inspired more than it was a replacement.
Yeah, yeah. I think we
That's
could
like
see.
saying Undertale replaced the Earthbound series. You know what I mean?
I mean, like Nintendo's is still Nintendo,
Yeah.
and like the Mario Artist series replaced Mario Paint for the
Yeah,
64.
that is true, yeah. And then that did great.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, yeah.
Alright.
I'm still waiting for them to release it over here in the States.
One day. Keep your eyes
Okay.
just wait for it to
So
come to the Nintendo Switch Online service.
yeah, the 64 DD Online.
Man,
Which
if they
no
ever do
expansion
that, no
pack.
one will ever give a shit.
Yeah, it's the Nintendo expansion pack expansion. You have to pay $300 per month.
A month, not even a year, a month.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, Nintendo needs to make money somehow. This
Yeah.
is gonna be the next Wii U.
Yeah, they're losing too much money on Nintendo Music. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that initial leaks kind, I guess that wasn't the initial one, but it was one of the first showing a piece of the
Yeah. It was the
thing.
first one where we saw saw
Yes.
the console models that everyone's like the game case manufacturer companies are
Yes.
leaking.
So okay, skip forward a little bit. We end up seeing so much of the console that Nintendo is scared. Um, we've seen everything, including the motherboard of this console, right? So now we know the specs of the console for the most part. We know exactly what the entire console looks like on paper. But
Hmm.
then I'm pretty sure the company is called Genki. They,
Genki.
yeah, it's a third party company that makes accessories
Yeah.
for Switch, but they're not affiliated with Nintendo, and obviously at this point never will be. But they
Yeah, is this the one
take,
that they just sued or whatever?
yeah, they're not, they didn't get sued because technically they didn't do anything illegal, but they basically brought a mock-up of the Switch 2 to a game convention and just showed everybody at the game convention. They were just like,
Okay.
come
I
check
think
out our booth. We have a mock up of the Switch 2 exactly. And Nintendo caught caught wind that they were doing this and sent out their lawyers to go scare the Genki people at their booth at the convention. But they couldn't do anything because it's not illegal. They have nothing to do with Nintendo.
I mean, if they had a non-disclosure degree
They didn't.
agreement.
There was no non-disclosure agreement, which is the funny part. So all the Nintendo's lawyers did was show up and try to scare them, but they couldn't do anything. So Genki eventually ended up getting a little scared, so they kind of backtracked, and said originally they were saying the Switch 2 was like it was the Switch 2, like 100%. This is a mock-up model of what the Switch 2 was, and based on like actual like information they had from Nintendo. But then they kind of backtracked and said, no, this is just information, a mock-up we made based off of leaked information online. So they kind of had to backtrack there because they got scared. Anyways, that's how close we are to this console coming out. So Nintendo's kind of getting their hand forced to reveal this thing. So, again, allegedly, big old air quotes, they're going to reveal it tomorrow. Big old air quotes. So I've yet to talk about the Switch 2. So I want to just throw out some predictions and also some wishes. Things that definitely aren't gonna happen, but they'd be pretty cool if they did.
Wait, so back on the rumors real quick.
Yeah,
I'll just
okay.
go through some other. I just wrote down some.
Yeah, go ahead,
I'm
go
not-
ahead.
So Joy-Cons that don't get drift because they're magnetic, I guess.
Yes. I think
Do you think-
using a new mechanism.
So you think they just won't get drift anymore?
I do not think they'll drift. I think that was one of my rumors or wishes. Yeah, that's one of my wishes. No
I
Joy-Con
think
drift.
that has been sort of like a rumor going around.
Which, I mean,
Um,
there was a
also-
specific mechanism that made the Switch 1 Joy-Cons drift, and it's pretty easy to fix. And, I mean, it's known knowledge what makes it happen, and Nintendo probably knows that, so they'll just not do that again.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So, also compatible with old Joy-Cons and controllers. Do you think, like, obviously I think the Pro controllers might connect because it's just Bluetooth.
Yeah.
But do you think the old Joy-Cons will be able to slip on the side, or do you think it'll just be the Bluetooth connection?
I think
Like,
it's gonna be a Wii U, Wii type situation. But the thing that makes it more interesting is the Wiimotes took batteries, so they didn't have to be charged by their old console. They could just have batteries and connect through Bluetooth like you're talking about. For the Joy-Cons, the only way to charge Joy-Cons is on the Switch 1's dock. So,
or like the accessory thing that Nintendo
yes.
sells.
So I think they would release a new called Switch 2. I don't know how they name it, but they would specifically,
Joy-Con one dock.
yeah, like literally just a docking station just for old controllers, so that way they can still sell old Joy-Cons, just as an option, and keep it an option for people that had a Switch 1, just as extra controllers, because why not?
Yeah, I think the main reason against them fitting on the side is another rumor that it has a bigger screen. And from the
Oh,
mock-up,
yeah.
it does have a bigger screen.
I think
Bigger than
that's
OLED.
less of a rumor and more just like, there's no way it's the same size, you know?
I mean, that's all assuming that all the mock-ups are real. I mean, obviously, like, by now, it's pretty safe to assume they're pretty accurate.
Yeah.
But, like, imagine Nintendo just comes out, and it's not even, like, a hybrid console anymore. It's just a
Yeah.
whole, like...
They just make like, this time they make a sphere console instead of a GameCube.
It's the Game Sphere. It's the sequel to the GameCube, the successor.
Yeah,
Because the
this-
Wii was just a GameCube, a little powered up. The
Yeah.
Wii U was just a Wii, a little powered up. And the Switch was just a Wii U, you could rip the sides off.
And bring around more than 10 feet away from you, or from
Yeah.
the console.
Because it is the console. They just
Yeah.
shoved the Wii U inside of a little box and ripped the controller off.
Inside of a little tablet, yeah.
Inside of an iPad.
So I think yes, there will be Switch 1 support, Switch 1 Joy-Cons, but I think there's going to be a limited amount of games that will be able to use them. Because
Okay.
I have a feeling there's going to be some sort of new technology in the new Switch Joy-Cons that are going to make them actually worth. I think it's going to be a gimmick that'll make them actually worth just like using more than just when you're playing in handheld mode, if that makes sense.
I think instead of HD Rumble, it'll be like Super Ultra HD Rumble Deluxe. And the controllers will like when they vibrate, it'll like feel like you're actually Mario on a motorcycle.
Yeah. I think
In
it's got to be
Mario
more than that, you know? I think they got to have like an actual huge gimmick that makes a lot of games worth having it.
Yeah, like the C button will turn the Joy-Cons into like a transformer, and then it'll attack you.
I have an
That's
idea. I have an
What-
idea
what's
for the
your
C
idea?
button. Should I just say it now? My
You just
idea.
outright say it now, because
Yeah, okay.
it's on the line of the rumors.
Yeah.
Sort of.
So, I think this is. I don't know if it's been like talked about or anything. I've heard it's gonna be some sort of camera button. I've heard it's gonna be some sort of it changes the right Joy-Con from a controller into a mouse if you press that button. I've heard it's just another capture button for right-handed people. But
No,
I think it's gonna be just a mappable button that can be used for anything. So for example, if you want to get to a certain app instantly, you can just map that to this button, or you can map like I don't know. I wouldn't say it's mapping like the ZR button to it or something. I think it's more just like a command button, like C for command. I just thought of that off the top of my head. Whoa,
Well, because
wait.
they used to have the C stick, and it was
Yeah.
like control, so you could see
Oh.
things.
It would make sense that would be it if the button was in a different spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I
Well,
don't know.
it's
It would,
definitely not a C stick button.
yeah,
that
no,
makes no-
no. I feel like
Yeah.
it would make sense to be a command button, like an A button or a B button or an X button, if it was above the home button with all the other buttons. But it's not. It's off. It's like grouped with the home button on the right Joy-Con, which makes me think it's some sort of off menu, some sort of command button. I'm just gonna. It's a command button. And
Yeah,
it can
that'd
do
be
whatever
cool.
command you want.
I think it'd be coolest if it was a camera
Yeah.
and they have a microphone back on the Switch, because then they'd be like adding back features that they took away for the Switch. Because if you think about it, the Wii U and the 3DS have more features than the base like Switch.
They do, yeah.
It has a microphone. It has they both have a microphone. They both have a camera. The Wii U also worked as a TV remote. When I was a kid, I thought it was a telephone. It's actually a TV remote.
Yeah.
I like wrote a book in English, or not a book, but like we had a creative writing project in English class, and I thought since I thought the Wii U was a telephone, I like wrote a story about how like I called someone on my Wii U. That's just not how it works. Apparently,
Could you
It's a-
call? Was there any calling?
No,
did
it
Miiverse
was
have
just-
calling in it?
No, it's just a TV remote. There's
Well, I
no
mean,
call.
like, I thought the Wii U had an app that you could call people on. Like, it was like a
Oh yeah, it might
FaceTime.
be like Skype or something.
No, it was its own thing. It was like you could only call other Wii U owners.
What?
So I think it was an app that was part of it. I think it wasn't the Wii. It had to have been the Wii U.
Chat? Wii U chat?
Yeah. I
I
think
don't know.
that
I didn't have any friends who had a Wii U.
Yeah. Me neither.
I didn't even use the online or anything. I just literally just played the games by myself.
Yeah.
And I
me
had
too.
no clue what Miiverse was. I was just like, oh, all these people are.
I did know I understood Miiverse for its time, and I'm glad I did because that was an experience.
Yeah, I feel like I missed out, honestly.
You did. That was.
I didn't understand. I didn't understand why they were drawing pictures and what the stamps were for in all those games.
I really got the biggest idea out of it from Mario Maker because I would see all these drawings and people like guiding you places, and I was like, what? You could tap on them and it would bring you through to Miiverse from the game in certain instances. Like,
Yeah, I knew that Miiverse existed,
yeah.
but I didn't know what it was.
Mm.
And like, now knowing that it's like a social media only on Nintendo devices, that's like pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. Was it on the 3DS?
Yeah, it was on the 3DS too, I think.
Very
Or there was something
minimal,
like on the
right?
Yeah, I think there was something. The 3DS was like the 3DS and Wii U like menus and like just the consoles not with any games were so huge
Yeah,
compared to the Switch.
that's
The
another
Switch-
thing I want to talk about later.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming to the Switch too because I think they're gonna stay basic. But yeah, we can talk about it later.
Yeah, that's why I specifically put that in my wishes. I'm not
Yeah.
predicting that.
Yeah,
But-
so just before we move in, I just want to say some of the games that I thought sounded interesting that were being rumored.
yeah, go ahead.
Mario Kart 8 9, Final Fantasy
Mario,
7.
whoa. You said Mario Kart 8, 9. I can't tell if that was.
No, Mario Kart 9, Mario Kart 9.
Okay.
Not 8 9. Not Mario Kart 89.
Okay. So you
Final-
think it's gonna be Mario Kart 9? Do you not think Mario Kart Tour is Mario Kart 9?
No, definitely not.
No? You
Because-
think it's kind of along the lines of not Super Circuit, but that live home circuit or whatever it was called?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I think Nintendo fans would be mad if Nintendo went out and called the next game Mario Kart 10.
Yeah.
I guess they could call it Mario Kart X, and people would care less.
Pull an
because-
apple.
Yeah, because Apple skipped 9,
Yeah.
and Nintendo, if they ask them, like, you're skipping 9, like Apple, they'd just be like, oh, Mario Kart Tour.
Most
Or
people
Mario
don't
Kart
know
Home
why
Tour.
Apple called the iPhone 10 and the iPhone X.
It was the 10th anniversary.
Yeah, I knew that. You knew that, but most people don't know that. Like, most people just don't know why they skipped the 9.
Yeah, but the real question is, why did they name the next one 11?
Because it would have been confusing if they went from X to 10. They would have just thought they made another iPhone.
I think they should have just pulled a Mega Man and just went to 9 and then 10, 11, 12. Just say that's the special iPhone that does facial recognition. The rest go back to thumb or whatever. So that's the special thing about the 10. It was like it did facial recognition.
Yeah. I don't think they wanted to switch back over to thumb.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought thumb was cooler.
I don't
'Cause
know.
now
I'm a big old fan of just having a screen that I have to tap.
Oh yeah, I guess getting rid of the button helps. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
That took up a lot of real estate.
Yeah, now you can't live with it.
Yeah. So
Okay, so
it kind of grosses me out to see the home button on people's phones in this day and age.
it doesn't
like-
make you nostalgic yet.
I
mean, eventually it will, but,
it
yet.
just makes me feel like I'm living in a you don't belong in this world. That's harsh. That's harsh. I mean,
Do you feel like that, or you think the button? You
the
think
button. I feel like anyone that has the button still, it's like, what are you doing? Like 2017, they got rid of the button. What is that?
well,
What is that?
the
That's
iPhone
like
SE
8
still has
years
it.
ago.
The iPhone SE, I think they're still making SEs. They
Oh,
still have the button.
It's just a little stinky. Look, it's just a little stinky. But it's okay. It's okay.
I feel like it's easier to turn on though, because like you just reach
Oh,
for your
yeah.
phone, your thumb's there. The other way you have to like stare at your phone like wide eyed.
It's like
So, like-
turn on instead of just having your thumb over the thing that's probably already on.
Okay, so Final Fantasy VII Remake slash Rebirth coming to Switch 2.
Was that
I think that'd be
rumored?
cool. Yeah, that's a rumor.
Do you think that would be a launch title? Or at least something that they show off in the trailer?
I don't think I heard that like from like the same leaks or whatever that were saying that it'd be tomorrow,
Yeah.
or I guess today now. They were saying that like this first trailer
Mm-hmm.
is a console trailer. They're mainly just showing off the console, and then whatever gameplay they show is just to show the console like what it can do. And then they're gonna talk about games in a later date.
I think that would be a bad business
Well, it's
decision.
exactly what they did. It's exactly what they did with the Switch. For the
Difference
Switch,
is, the Switch 1 was a new concept.
yeah, this is literally just another Switch.
Yeah, it's just a powerful Switch.
But I mean, like when they announced the OLED, they just showed the OLED. They didn't announce that Zelda Link's Awakening was getting a remake, or 'cause I think that came out around the OLED or the Lite or something.
I think they didn't need to though, because it was just people already knew what the Switch was, and the OLED didn't change anything. It just made the screen bigger.
Yeah, but I think all they're gonna do in this trailer is be like, Switch 2. They'll be like, the Switch 2 has a mysterious button, and it'll go whoosh, and then it'll be like, the button does this, and then it'll be like, oh, did you notice? The screen quality looks slightly better. Whoosh! Look, 4K quality resolution,
Wow.
and then it'll be like, Switch 2 coming 2025 sometime.
Sometime, I swear, if they pull out coming later in 2025, I'm gonna be so pissed off. I'm gonna be like, come on, really? Just like, I know it's like so obvious it's gonna come out in the next 3 or 4 months.
Did the Switch reveal trailer say a reveal date?
Yeah.
In it? It did? Okay.
I think
Well, then
it
the
is,
Switch-
I'm not sure if it was exact day, but it was at least the month.
I think honestly, it's harder to get hyped for these things because when the Wii U was announced, like that was epic because you got Reggie out there and he's saying like this giant like speech about like Wii, and he's like, we don't just need Wii anymore. We're also adding U. And that I did not say for no reason. Cause now we have this. The Wii U. Like okay, like I would be hyped. Like, Like,
I would be
imagine-
confused.
imagine the Switch 2 trailer starts and like you see Doug Bowser, and then Doug Bowser's like you switched it up for the Switch, but now we're gonna go a little crazy. Here we have the Crazy Switch. Like it's not called Switch 2, it's called Crazy Switch.
Damn.
And they're like, now we have rolling buttons and a C button. C is for crazy. It's the crazy button. It makes all the games do crazy things.
Like Mario Wonder, but built into the Switch.
And the it's just every game is getting a Wonder Flower if you press the crazy button.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
So Final Fantasy VII
Oh,
remake
yeah.
slash release. What do you think
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
You think
I
it should
mean,
come?
yeah.
You think it could come?
Well, I mean, what didn't Final Fantasy? Which Final Fantasy came for the Switch? Just remake, correct?
Yeah, no.
No.
Neither of them. No, like new Final Fantasy games have been coming to Switch. It's just like we got the old ones, and we got the cheap mobile version of Final Fantasy 15, where it's like
Oh.
everyone's chibi or whatever, chibi,
Yeah.
and we got like Theater Rhythm or something like that.
So we didn't get 7? I swear we did.
We have the 7 like PS4 remaster,
Yeah, yeah.
remake, Rebirth, and the whatever the third one is going to be called are part of like a complete retelling of Final Fantasy VII that's split up into 3 games, and it's like giant.
Okay.
And you don't do like traditional RPG battle. It's like you fight people,
Oh.
I think.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Final Fantasy, but that would be a big. I think
I'd actually play the game.
games wise, I think the Switch 2 is going to be a million times more interesting than going into the Switch 1.
Yeah, going into the Switch 1, it was like literally nothing. It was just Mario Kart 8, which I think came out shortly after the Switch launch.
Yeah, yeah.
Breath of the Wild, which was like, oh, it's cool, it's open world game, when everyone wants an open world game.
Yeah. And they also revealed Mario Odyssey. They kind of soft.
Yeah, that didn't come out till October.
Yeah, it didn't come out till a while, but they soft revealed it and then talked about it a bit later. I think what'll happen is they're going to pop up with oh gosh, I'm so conflicted between they're gonna show Mario, whatever it is, they're gonna show Mario. I am so conflicted between Mario Kart 9. I personally think it's gonna be called Mario Kart 10. That's just me though. I think or Mario Kart X or something. I don't know. But I think this new Mario Kart, they're either gonna show that or they're gonna show footage of a new 3D Mario. For a second. For literally a second.
I honestly think if they're not launching with the Zelda game, they need to launch with 3D Mario.
Yeah, they really do need that big old... Because we've shown that 3DS, I'm just throwing it under the bus, we've seen that a console launch is really indicative of the launch titles with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the 3DS was awesome. It had Pilot Wings 3D. And that game is like Wii Sports on the go, but it's just the airplane.
But it's just one mode out of like the 16 in that game.
Yeah. But they added a jetpack and a hang glider.
It's just Nintendo is so good at making something so good yet fucking it up.
I mean, it's a fun game.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, is it a launch title for everyone?
I mean, it's the same as launching Pilot Wings 64 with the Nintendo 64.
I think that was also an issue.
Yeah, but they also got Mario 64, so it's like
yeah,
it made up for it.
For all those people that aren't just buying the Mario game, here's a little extra for you. Yeah. I don't know. You're right. They gotta. That's why I said like I'm really torn between them showing off whatever they show off. I think is what's gonna be the launch title.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I think they wish for the launch title.
Yeah.
Because they showed off Breath of the Wild in the original trailer.
Yeah, that was the first thing they showed.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the first, like literally the first scene. It was a
guy.
But
everyone already knew that game exists because it was being made for the Wii U, and they showed footage.
Ooh, I just thought about this. What if they show Metroid Prime 4?
Yeah, I have something about that in one of my predictions.
Okay.
Because I know it's already been announced coming to Switch 1.
Yeah.
I have something about that.
I'm curious if that's going to be a cross-gen.
Yeah. My two other game rumors that seemed sort of interesting was Halo Master Chief Collection. Seeing like Halo on Switch, which has been an Xbox exclusive, would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be groundbreaking of Xbox to do.
Well, like Xbox has been just giving out their IPs more freely to other consoles, especially Switch, because we got Banjo, Kazooie, and Tooie, because that's rare, and then we got GoldenEye which was rare, from Rare.
But to be fair, those are
a bunch of Rare games.
Yeah, to be fair, those were on Nintendo consoles first, so it's kind of Xbox just being like, here, take these back for right now. We'll take your money for it.
They haven't re-released those on Nintendo consoles since the original release.
Yeah.
Like, but Xbox has re-released them a bunch of times on Xbox Live Arcade and the Rare Replay collection.
Yeah. So, I think with that line of logic, but is Xbox willing to give up their one franchise that they have left? Literally the only, I mean, I guess, could you even say that at this point though? Like,
Well, they gave up like Sea of Thieves, and they gave up like, I think Sea of Thieves.
yeah, they
like
did.
that.
They gave it to PlayStation as well.
Yeah, and like I think they gave something to Switch. And it was like the big thing where they're saying like everything's an Xbox. Your phone's an Xbox. Your TV's an Xbox. Your toaster, that's not an Xbox. Your Switch, that's an Xbox.
Yeah, dude, that would be crazy because at that point, remember when I think I talked to you about this when it was happening, when there was the huge leaks about Game Pass being put on the Switch. Xbox Game Pass. There was a few years back, there was leaks that Nintendo was in talks with Xbox to release literally just everything that was on Game Pass and the like Game Pass subscription onto the Switch. Just cause. So I mean, if Master Chief Collection comes out to the Switch too, that could so easily happen.
Like I heard that Microsoft, every single Xbox console they sell with a loss,
Yeah.
but they just do it to get their brand Microsoft known because they make so much money with their computers.
Yeah.
Like they're literally
They have billions of dollars to waste.
Yeah. Like I don't think Jeff Bezos really, not Jeff Bezos. What? I don't think Bill Gates really cares.
Yeah. And the head at Xbox does not care because he's just giving away everything Xbox has to all these new portable PCs, like the Steam Deck, the Rogue Ally, stuff like that. They're literally just giving their engines away and putting Game Pass on here.
Yeah, Halo the Master Chief Collection is on Steam.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it
so
wouldn't
I
be
don't
too crazy if they put it on the Switch.
Okay, so then the other one, it was like 2 Assassin's Creed games.
That
I thought that was.
I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, like, I saw like one of our friends were playing an Assassin's Creed game, and it was like you like sneak around in it or something.
It's
And I thought that was pretty cool.
It's such a dead franchise what they've done to it recently. It really peaked during the late Xbox 360 and early Xbox One time frame.
Oh, I heard that like they were doing like yearly releases, and then like they took a year break, and then the next game was like good or something.
Yeah.
And that was like a PS5 game or something.
It's just, I mean, these games have been able to have been played for so long now. I don't think it would be that crazy if they were just on Switch too.
I mean,
maybe they are. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but
like I just think it's cool because it's like a first time on a Nintendo console.
oh yeah, it is
like,
breaking history.
It's always cool seeing these like franchises where like usually Nintendo stays away from like the mature franchises, but it's cool seeing new franchises come to Switch.
Oh
Even
yeah.
if they're ones that I'm probably not gonna play like at all, or like even like buy.
My question is, what are the chances they catch up to the market and they have Assassin's Creed games coming out same day, PS5, Xbox Series X, and now Switch 2 all at once? What are the chances? Or is it just re-releasing the old games?
I think it's possible to see more, uh, like, like current releases coming to Switch 2, because it's supposedly just as powerful as a PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
It's like barely behind the PS5.
It's good enough, right?
Yeah, I mean, the PS4 still gets some games that the PS5 gets,
Yep.
and like the Switch isn't getting because it's worse
It
than
is
the.
literally equivalent to a PS3.
Yeah.
It's
Like
bad.
you can just go by looking at the Mortal Kombat port or whatever of Mortal Kombat 1,
Yeah.
the new Mortal Kombat 1. And it's like it's kind of like a joke, but like I think the Switch 2, it won't be like a joke anymore when they port games.
Yeah.
I think that the ports, like while they're obviously not gonna run quite as good, I think they'll be able to get more and they'll be able to be better, not look like that. There won't be comparison videos that the comments are just flaming the Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, there's very well it could be still a terrible.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're very much assuming, no, praying for Nintendo to not mess it up this time. And I mean, not mess it up, obviously. They knew what they were doing. Third most sold console of all time. Let's not forget that. But,
But I think they landed on it by accident.
yeah, they
don't
really
think
much
they-
got very lucky.
Yeah.
And alongside the luck, they also, they knew the market they had to hit, and they realized they didn't need to look like a PS4 for it.
Yeah.
So, that was the last game of your rumors, right?
Yeah. That was all the rumors.
I
So we
want to
can go
talk about the game cartridges. What do
Okay.
those look like?
I think they're either going to be the exact same as Switch cartridges, which I don't think would work because, like, you know how DS cartridges ended up being, where it's like the little notch or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think they could just go again with a little notch,
Yeah.
and it would just be sufficient.
I think.
I don't think it's going to be a complete new redesign.
Yeah, no. It wouldn't make sense for it to be. Because it is confirmed. One of the two things that is 100% confirmed by Nintendo. It's going to be backwards compatible. Which, you know what? I didn't even think about this. But that could so easily mean only digital games. Like, you can transfer all your digital games from the Switch 1. But the cartridges don't work because they don't fit. Like, I'd be surprised, but I also wouldn't at the same time.
Yeah, I'm going to try to pull up the original tweet just to make sure.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure all they said was, there will be backwards compatibility.
This says, we announced that Nintendo Switch software will also be playable on the successor to Nintendo Switch. NSO will be available on the Switch successor as well. Further information, including its compatibility with Switch, will be announced at a later date. So yeah, it does keep it vague enough to, I guess, you could say it's only online games.
Yeah.
That'd be absolutely miserable.
Yeah, that would absolutely fucking
One
suck.
One of the reasons I want to buy a Switch 2 is because my Switch 1 is just broken. Like, the Joy-Cons don't even work.
Yes.
They don't connect right anymore, so I can't even play handheld.
Yeah,
I have to play tabletop or docked,
Uh-huh.
and it just sucks.
And my Pro Controller's giving out. Like, not only are my Joy-Cons giving out now, my Pro Controller, I thought that would never happen. It felt so secure. My Pro Controller, after 7 years, is giving out, which is really sad.
Yeah, $70 too.
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, I guess it lasted me $10 per year.
Yeah.
It's like I bought the baseline online expansion pass, but half of that.
Hmm.
But even, I mean, I've literally used the Pro Controller probably for a total of like 4,000 hours. So, Am
Yeah,
I
so it's probably
complaining?
worth it.
It was
Yeah.
worth it. I'll buy another one. I hope they just make a new Pro controller, not 100%. Keep it pretty much the same, except it have whatever the Joy-Cons have in it.
Just button. The
Yeah.
crazy button.
Yeah, I guess in that case they would have to make a Pro controller, right? A new one.
Yeah, to have the crazy button.
Yeah, the
Or
The
it won't
crazy
work with all
button.
the crazy games. And the crazy Switch. The
yeah.
Nintendo Crazy Switch.
But they will also let you use the old Pro controller. Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Um
Yeah. I mean, if the Joy-Cons are compatible, the Pro controllers would be compatible.
yeah. So,
And the GameCube adapter from the Wii U is going to be compatible.
yeah, for the Wii U specifically, not the Switch one.
Well, the Switch one is just a copy of the Wii U one.
Do they both work for each other's consoles?
I mean, it's literally just like two USB ports
Yeah.
attached to like a... Because third-party ones work perfectly the same.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait for Discord to stop beeping.
Beeping.
I can hear like someone doing their Mude bot.
Uh,
So wait, should I start on my wishes or predictions?
I sort of combined mine because like wishes are sort of things that are like unlikely, and predictions are sort of like things that are likely or like basically confirmed to eventually come.
Yeah.
So I sort of just combined mine, and then I either put I'd put impossible, like it's never gonna happen. Unlikely, like it might happen, but I don't know. Possible, it's like 50-50. Likely, it's like probably gonna happen, and then basically confirmed, it's like it's definitely coming to Switch. Like it hasn't been announced, but it's definitely.
Yeah. Do you know if there's a way to mute someone
Yeah.
beeping the Discord?
I think if you right click, you can just go to mute server, and then it says like for 15 minutes, an hour, 3 hours, 8 hours, 24 hours until I turn it back on.
Mute server for... I'll just do for an hour. For 1 hour. That works. Let's get you back up here. Okay. So, I'm gonna start just going down the list of wishes.
Okay.
I'm gonna take this a little bit faster because it's just wishes, whatever.
Okay, you can do yours first, and then we can do mine. Because
Okay.
mine's sort of different.
That works. Yeah, just let me know if we have anything matching.
Okay.
I'm really wanting an open-face dock. I really want an open-face dock, so that way you can at least, if they're not willing to do the entire screen showing to the player, I want to at least see a sliver of the screen. It looked like in the screenshots it showed a bit of the screen at the top.
Oh yeah, like the circular dock. Have you seen
yeah.
that?
And,
It's like an oval.
yeah, and it's oval enough to where you can see
It's
the top
short.
of the Switch.
Yeah, that's
Switch's screen.
and it can have a clock on it.
Yeah,
Like that's
have a
that's
clock.
The secret, that's the secret from Nintendo. They're actually just announcing the Nintendo Alarmo sound clock 2.0. It's not the Switch 2.
That's why they made the Alarmo clock as a little teaser.
Huh?
So
And
I mean, I think they can do more than just a clock though. I think they can do notifications for games. I think
the news app.
yeah, the news app. I think they will have a more integrated online servers to where you can talk to people.
It works
I
like
think-
on.
Like,
It's like
imagine
on
on
par with
Xbox
YouTube.
Live, but Nintendo-fied. That's another wish. No Joy-Con drift. We already talked about that. I don't think that's gonna be... That makes sense. It's probably gonna happen. They're just gonna make them new. Better online shop. Let's fix
Okay.
this Nintendo eShop, please.
Yeah, where it's just a web app.
Yeah, it
Or
is
web
so
browser. In a
slow. I swear I hadn't really gone on to the eShop until recently for like 2, maybe 3 years, because I just wasn't buying anything around that weird limbo time, unless it was physical. And it is so slow. It has only gotten slower as time has gone on.
And all the games in the recently added are all crap.
Yeah, and yeah, it's not only slow and laggy, it's also not filtered at all.
Yeah, you can't find any new games. It's all either like AI slop, like weird dating sims,
Yeah.
like clones of other slop games that have been released, like infinite farming simulators that like it's all basically like stupid mobile games that you just see ads about.
Yes.
And they're not the game that it shows in the ads.
Exactly. And not only that, so get rid of the lag. Just maybe buy servers, so that way they run off servers, not whatever the hell they're running on right now, because it's not working. Maybe like what you said, let's filter out the games, make better tabs. For once, follow what the Wii U did. The Wii U did it pretty close to perfect, I would say.
Well, I mean, I even have problems with the Wii U. Like, I prefer the 3DS or the Wii's. I think had a perfect shot. The Wii had a perfect shot.
Oh yeah, and okay, that's another point. Can it have some personality again?
Yeah, like music or something.
Yeah, why is it like even the Wii U's had music, the 3DS's had music, the Wii's had music, the first Nintendo eShop ever. Why does the Switch give nothing? It looks like nothing. It looks like a blank web page. It has no music. It has no themes. No Nintendo. It doesn't even feel like a Nintendo shop. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm on the black market on my Nintendo Switch.
Same with the Mii Maker too.
Yeah. Why is the Mii Maker a setting?
Yeah.
Just put that as a little icon, like an icon on the bottom.
Like,
I know
think
they're trying to go away from Mii's, but
Nintendo was trying to copy like the PS4 and Xbox style of doing it, but like at least the PS4, it has like ambient noise or whatever while you're in the menus.
Yeah, it feels like you're somewhere.
Yeah, and like it has less menu options too as those, because those have customizable backgrounds. The Switch has 2 backgrounds, basic black and basic white. Why do you even call it basic if there's only those 2 options?
Yeah.
Like, that's assuming that there's a non-basic.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's
what
just,
my thought process is, you know how in Mario Maker 2, the Mario 3D World like tile is by itself in special game modes?
Yeah, and it says other game modes or something like that. It's like plural. There's only one.
It almost feels like they were gonna come and add things to the menu, and they just either forgot for some reason that they had that plan, or they don't care to like implement it for a new reason.
I think you can see that with the weird power-ups they had later in the game where, well, when the game released, it had Super Mario Land power-up, where you're the black and white Mario and you shoot the little balls.
Yeah.
I think they might have had that planned to be a game mode and then just relegated it to a power-up. And I've heard that the Super Mario Bros. 2 power-up that came out in an update was supposed to be its own game mode. And I guess that would have went in other game modes.
Yeah.
Because Mario 2 operates completely different than every other.
Completely different. I think what they would have also done is some sort of Zelda mode.
Yeah, well, they had a Link thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would have ever became its own style.
No,
because,
I feel like it could have. I feel like it could have been a simplified version.
You think like a Zelda 2 sort of thing? Where
yeah, Zelda 2 feeling, but with all Zelda 1 sprites.
Yeah.
Kind of a mix of both. But simple enough to where it would work. Close enough to Mario.
Yeah, like they actually mentioned like Zelda 2.
Yeah. That's pushing
think-
it.
I think they would probably be like, it's like the 2D sections of Link's Awakening.
Yeah. So.
The first time there was 2D platforming in Zelda ever. Link's Awakening.
Okay, so another thing I was talking about earlier, better online support.
Okay.
So I mean, like, such as chatting and like calling. So being on like a kind of like a Discord call, but basically what Xbox did with Xbox Live, but for the Switch too. I do not understand why they have yet to implement that, or even implement Discord. Just bring Discord to the Switch. Even that would work.
Like parties on PlayStation or whatever.
Yeah, parties. That was what I was looking for. I couldn't think of it.
Party.
Yeah. That would be so good, and I mean, I can see why they haven't, because a big part of their fan base are children.
Yeah.
And they don't want children talking to big old men.
And they have an option too. They have their voice chat in the Nintendo Switch Online app.
That's what I'm saying. They're so close. Nintendo does this thing where they're so close, but they just refuse to get to the end.
Because their fans are like, give us voice chat, give us voice chat. So they're like, you have voice chat.
We gave you voice chat. What more could you ask for?
We gave you multiple backgrounds. You have basic white and basic black.
Yeah.
And people were like, be less strict in your eShop. We gave you a less strict eShop. All the games. Isn't it great?
Yeah, okay, another one that just popped into my head. We can kind of blip past this one real quick because it's not that big of a thing, but maybe either shorter Nintendo friend codes, or just let's just use usernames like every other fucking company in the world. Let's not use these like 16-digit codes. Like I'm trying to unlock a safe or something.
I mean, again, it's sort of it's like kids, so they want to make it like where like you can't friend like someone who could like threaten a kid's safety or something.
I think I was gonna say this earlier and I ended up not.
The Wii U had usernames.
Yeah, just parental controls.
Yeah.
Like, you literally have parental controls on your console. Just use them. Just lock the kids behind not being able to friend people or go into people's parties. And then you can have parties and stuff. And people will be happy with you.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much how the parental codes work on Switch now. Is like you can disable certain online features.
Yeah.
And it's just like you can't really use like that excuse really as much.
The only reason I could see why they would make that excuse is some parents don't understand what is in a Switch before they buy it. They don't realize, oh, I should probably go into this device and deactivate this, but keep these other things not deactivated.
Like Apple doesn't worry about it with their iPads, so why does Nintendo have to worry about it?
Yeah.
Like a kid can do way more on an iPad than he can do on a Switch.
Exactly.
There's a lot like on Switch that you just can't do because it doesn't have a web browser, it doesn't have.
So not transforming, transitioning from what you just said. There's a lot the Switch can do that. There's a lot the Switch can't do that other things can. Why does the Switch not have Netflix? Why does the Switch not have Netflix on it? It has Hulu.
Or it had Hulu. I think they might have removed it.
They removed Hulu? No. They still have Hulu. I know that for sure because I still use it.
I remember they removed it from the eShop for a bit. They might have brought it back.
Did they just not get licensing or something? Like, what? Netflix? The biggest streaming service in the world. No, but Hulu. Yes. Yeah. For sure. We'll take Hulu. We'll take the second one. We'll take number 2.
They have YouTube, Hulu, and Crunchyroll.
Yeah. What? Crunchyroll. I mean, yeah, that makes sense for their fan base. People that buy the Switch, a lot
It
of them
makes a
love
little bit
anime. Yeah, but it's just what? Where's Amazon Prime? Where's Disney Plus? Where's all these things? How about we make the Switch less of just a gaming console and try to make it more of a all-in-one box?
Mhm.
Why not? I mean, why not? Just add Netflix at least. It was the weirdest thing that they never did. So I also wished for great launch titles. And I think I just mean like not
So you didn't really put any like game predictions. You just put
I
because
put Mario Kart 10 and a new IP.
okay, all of my things are just games. I don't
Oh.
really put that many features.
Yeah. Well, I got the features down for you.
Okay,
I put a lot of features. I also said this one I don't care that much. It could be here or not. It's not that big of a deal. But if the mouse thing is a thing, and that's a big feature of the console, I think an online browser would work very well on it. And
Yeah.
a mouse would complement that very well. But, I mean, I'll take that or leave it. I don't care that much. And a better menu screen. Just add, we already talked about this, but just add personality. Even push it behind a paywall. Like, you want to buy a menu screen for like 75 cents. Here's like, for all of our new games, we'll give you 5 menu screens. Or at least one menu screen for every new big game. And, right off the bat, we'll give you a few to start. And we'll just cycle them out as new games come. And you can buy them if you want. You don't have to. And it'd just be a little extra feature.
I think they could relegate it to also because you know how the Switch has that little the NSO like red app in the corner,
Yes.
and like you can get little profile pictures with the platinum coins. I think they could do something similar for menu screens. Or whatever.
Another example of them being so close to the finish line and not taking the final step.
Even on my Nintendo, you can buy desktop backgrounds, desktop wallpapers, and you can even buy alternate Nintendo Switch game cases. Like for Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, they have a GameCube style Switch case that you can print
Really?
out.
What?
Yeah, so they have all these bizarre things you can buy for free with Nintendo Switch. Like obviously you still have to print it out.
Yeah.
But you get the file for free, even though you can just find it online, I guess.
Yeah.
But, whatever. And they just cost platinum coins. You
That's
can get like
so
little
weird.
trinkets too. You can get like pins and like
Oh yeah. Okay. Non-switch to want. Make my Nintendo. What it's called my Nintendo now, right? Like the new one.
I think my Nintendo is the current. I get the two mixed up.
Yeah.
My Nintendo. What was the old one? There's the better one. It gave you like out on the Wii.
I could actually check. I just need to look through a few of my Wii boxes to see.
Club Nintendo. Club Nintendo.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, just can we like make buying games worth it more? Like not just credit for money. Can we make like buy a few Switch games, and if you're a member of my Nintendo and you are regularly using it and getting platinum points and gold points, eventually you can save up after maybe 5-6 games and get yourself a $20 game or something.
But that's what you can do.
Yeah, you can after like a $60 game gives you 60 coins, which is worth 60 cents.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, just like less of a point system and more just like we see that you're interested in our stuff. We'll give you a free recommendation or a free game for free, but a cheaper one.
I think they don't need to do that though because they're doing so well that they just don't really care right now. Because like on on the Wii U, if you bought Mario Kart 8, they gave you a free game.
Of 3, yeah,
Like,
it was the
yeah,
Wario game, Pikmin 3, or what was the other one?
Zelda Wind Waker HD. That's how
Oh,
I got
wow.
Wind Waker HD. That was my first Zelda game.
Crazy.
I didn't even know what a Zelda was. I just liked
Dang.
running around on the island.
That's crazy. Your first Zelda game is Wind Waker. That's kind
Well,
of
no,
crazy.
my first game, Nintendo Zelda game was Nintendo Land,
Oh,
where
yeah.
you
Yeah.
shoot the bow and arrow.
That is.
And I knew what Zelda was from the Super Mario Super Show.
Yeah.
I didn't actually watch the Zelda parts because it was.
Yeah. So, okay, do you want to quickly go through some of your wishes? We're already at 1 hour and 18 minutes.
Okay, sure. I only have like 24.
Oh my god.
So I think this is basically confirmed. A gimmicky launch game.
Yeah.
Um,
What, like your 1-2 switch?
yeah. Because Switch had 1-2 Switch, and its hit sequel, Everybody 1-2 Switch.
That everyone
And,
loved.
Yeah. I bought it for $10 off at a flea market.
Mm.
I played it like half of one time. And then the Wii U had Nintendo Land. The Wii had Wii Sports. The GameCube had I don't know, Luigi's Mansion. The Nintendo 64 had Mario 64, which showed off its capabilities.
Yeah.
Then you just keep going back or whatever. I think what is unlikely, like of what it could be, but it should be, is a Nintendo Land-like sequel. Because Nintendo Land, even though it was on a crappy console, it was like the perfect free game to bundle with your console.
Yeah.
Because it's an advertisement for every other game that was coming out.
Yeah. I love Nintendo Land.
Yeah, it's a fun game, and it helps Nintendo out, which
Mhm.
showing you the other games that or other franchises that you can enjoy. Like the only reason I started playing the Pikmin games is because of Nintendo Land.
Mm. Nintendo, if you're listening. Mr.
Nintendo World.
Mr. Miyamoto. Just Nintendo Land
Make-
2. Nintendo Land 2. Where you at?
Yeah, and it can be a tie-in to the Universal theme park.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so Universal can pay them money. It can be a sequel to the hit Universal game where you pick up trash on the GameCube.
Every minute and a half of the game, it just flashes like visit us at Universal splash on the screen in the middle of the gameplay.
And it shows like all the theme parks, and it barely shows anything of the Mario world.
It's like
Like,
shows the Mario
look,
world for a
Island.
second.
Islands of Adventure. Also, we have Mario and Donkey Kong.
Yeah, not even the Mario world, just the Donkey Kong part. That'd be so funny.
Donkey Kong barrel ride in Universal Orlando and Tokyo.
Okay.
So next, a likely thing that I think is going to come eventually. Like, there's no reason not for it not to come to Switch or Switch 2 or whatever. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD. They've ported every single Wii U game that, like, they even ported Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah, for
to the
some reason.
I mean, like, it's Monolith Soft, and, like, really, like, what else are they making these days? They only make Xenoblade games.
Yeah.
And I don't really care, because it's not like they can make a Zelda game or a Mario game or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably could, but, like, that's not what they're... I mean, they're good at making Xenoblade games. Like, keep making Xenoblade games for the Xenoblade people.
You know, I think that prediction is actually right on the money. And the reason I think they didn't do it for this newest generation is because it was too soon. Like, the Zelda Wind Waker HD was just re-released. and it was re-released cheaper than how they would have re-released it if they did on the Switch. They would have made it $60 if they put it on the Switch. They would have made Twilight Princess HD $60 if they put it on the Switch. And I think they now have a chance, since it's been a whole generation, they have a chance that people forgot about those being released, and they're like, okay, now we can re-release them again, even more money this time.
I think, like, well, because when they came out, they were the same price as like a normal game. I think it was like $50 for Wind Waker HD and $50 for Twilight Princess HD.
Yep.
I think that was how much games cost back then.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
And then Wind Waker went on Nintendo Selects, and it was $20. So it was 20 and 50. So I think what they should do, if they're gonna be kind, this is something that's unlikely. Release a collection.
Yeah, bundle
of 2 games for $60. That it's the physical version.
That's not happening.
But on like in the eShop, you can either get both for $60, or you can get one or the other for $40. Like how like they did the same thing for Pikmin 1+2.
Yeah.
In the eShop, you can get one for $30 or something like that, or 2 for $40, or you can just buy it in the store for $40.
Yeah.
And it came out later. I think they should do the same thing for Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD.
They're losing. I can't believe they didn't re-release those games. Because it's not like it would be hard. They don't have to do anything. Literally, they've already made the HD remakes.
And instead of re-releasing those games that everyone was asking for, they re-released Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
The game that everyone's like, iffy about.
But to be fair, that had never been re-released before.
Yeah, but it's like why would you spend work when you can spend less work?
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand Nintendo sometimes, but to be fair, I think it was Zelda's. Was it Skyward Sword's was it any anniversary for Skyward Sword when that game came out?
It was the Zelda 35th anniversary.
So it wasn't anything specific for Skyward Sword. It just happened to be Skyward Sword.
So it would have made more sense to make like an HD bundle of 2 games, because that seems like an anniversary thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to talk more anniversaries later.
Okay.
But yeah, like putting 2 games together and selling it as a bundle, even if they're old games, that seems like an anniversary thing that's like acceptable. So like when I watched the original trailer for the Zelda anniversary, I was like, oh, we're probably going to get Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. And then I saw Skyward Sword and was like, oh, that's cool. It was like I have it on the Wii. Like I haven't beat it yet. I'm like, oh, now I'm going to have to buy the Switch one because I don't want to play the inferior version.
Yeah.
It was
it was too soon.
Too soon to re-release the Wii U games.
You're not thinking like Nintendo right now. They will never release a Wii and GameCube game together, let alone them individually for anything less than full price.
That's what they did for 3D All Stars, though. They
I guess, yeah, for a limited time though.
Yeah, but they could have just done limited time Twilight Princess and Wind Waker.
Yeah,
and that's that's a worse deal. It's 2 games.
I think for that concept, I don't know. I'm stuck in the middle. Games. I'm stuck in the middle.
And if you think about their strategy for the Switch, it was re-release Wii U games and then throw out some random games.
Yeah.
Just like and then like 4 like actual like good new games.
It was like the Switch one was very fan servicey.
Yeah, I think in some ways it was, and in some ways it just like ignored the thing.
Yeah. Well,
Like we never saw Star Fox, we never saw an F-Zero, but we
I don't
saw,
think those. I don't think Nintendo wants to fuck with those anymore, though.
yeah. I mean, I don't see why not F-Zero. F-Zero's never like had any big disappointing things like Star Fox did on the Wii U.
Yeah. I
But
just they've said they will not revisit that until they have a brand new idea for it.
yeah,
So.
that's what I heard. Yeah, because they were trying to get someone to work on it, and they're just like, no, no, thank you.
Oh well.
No, I think Star Fox or F-Zero is fun, and I like how they had F-Zero 99 or whatever.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that I think that was the new idea they were waiting for. A battle royale. Whoa.
It's like, I know we did this with Tetris and Pac-Man and Super Mario Bros. So what's next? Everyone's asking for an F-Zero game. Let's give them F-Zero 99.
Nintendo did not read context clues correctly.
Like,
So-
I'm gonna put things together. Popular games that have been doing good for NSO and F-Zero. They combined them in the wrong way.
I think they'd be insane to I could see them re-releasing a few F-Zero games as a package, but I cannot see them making a new one probably ever again, because it would just take away from their huge moneymaker Mario Kart. It would just be competing with themselves.
I think just release them in totally different years,
Yeah.
like 2 year difference, and just remake F-Zero GX, the GameCube one.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That game is really, like, you can't go much further. Like, if they're not going to come up with something new for F-Zero, just HD remaster it like they did for Metroid,
Mhm.
Metroid Prime Remaster, or HD remake it like they did for Thousand Year Door,
Yeah.
and just charge $60 because you'd make F-Zero fans happy, and you'd get new F-Zero fans.
Yeah.
And then maybe later, if you come up with something, make a new idea, and then people are familiar with it, like they did for Pikmin. They
Yeah.
reintroduced Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
What's your next
Uh,
what's your next game idea?
So likely, like, this is probably gonna happen. Early in the Switch 2's life, we're gonna see a new 3D Zelda. If we don't see like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker coming early, then we're gonna see a new 3D Zelda. Not at the release, and not a Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom sequel.
I don't
But
I think they're done with those. I think they've
Yeah, it's not gonna be a Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom related
Yeah.
game, but it will be semi-open world.
Oh yeah, they gotta keep that, because it would
Yeah,
only feel like a downgrade if they didn't at this point.
But I don't think it'll be completely open world. I don't think it'll be to the same extent of Breath of the Wild,
Yeah.
because a lot of people have not like a lot of people really like it, and a lot of people are just like, Tears of the Kingdom is the same game as Breath of the Wild.
And I can
Like, 'cause
see both
it's
sides.
the same exact world.
Yeah.
That might just be me and just a couple other people, but like,
There's a big chunk of people that feel that way, because it literally is. It's the same
Yeah.
map, but it does feel completely different because
and
the way
a lot
it's
of it,
presented.
and yeah, but the way the game is, it makes sense for a lot of it to be empty, because it's like sort of a post-apocalyptic, like Ganon has
Yeah.
won,
Mhm.
like he's surrounding the castle, but like, if they make another game that isn't like following that, it's like, why is there just so much open space? Like, I get in Ocarina of Time they were like showing off like the big open like area or whatever, but that's like so boring just to walk through.
Yeah.
Having Breath of the Wild be that's the entire game.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun for a little bit because you can try out like fighting enemies or whatever, but I don't know. I think the next game, it will have open world elements, but it'll be more of a return to traditional 3D Zelda.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
Next is something that I want, but it's impossible. It's not going to happen. What I want is no Mario Kart 9 in the launch year. I do not want the Switch's launch year to have Mario Kart 9 or 10 or whatever.
Yeah, you
I,
don't
I,
think
I want
so?
it's because of the my next thing. I want a 3D Mario game in the first year.
I
And
am
I don't think
so
we could get
I
Kart
am
and a Switch.
so torn. I am so torn between this.
Think about it. We got the DLC like literally like 2 years ago for Mario Kart um Deluxe. And the last time we got a 3D Mario game, like
Was
besides Bowser's Fury, which was like nothing, was Mario Odyssey.
yeah,
Because
literally launch year of the Switch
it's the last
one.
year of the Switch. Because the Mario Kart 8 DLC basically acted as a completely new game. It doubled the game's track size and like completely like reworked like some things. Like it added the music player. It gave you new
Added a whole
characters.
bunch of new characters.
Yeah, a whole bunch of new characters.
It does
Like
feel
actual
like
new
a
characters.
busting at the seams Mario Kart. Just like
It,
Smash feels like a
Smash
busting at
Ultimate,
the seams
yeah.
Smash game.
Yeah, that it's like almost impossible to top.
Yeah.
Like honestly, they should just release Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Deluxe.
Which is sad that
Yeah,
that has to be a way. They don't leave any room for improvement. They're literally like they're acting like this was gonna be their last console ever.
yeah, but I think that's the way to do it. It's to put everything into your game
Yeah.
and not even like think about the future.
That is a way to do it, but then you screw. Actually, you know what? I think that sets a precedent to where you literally always have to top
No, but
the
for the next,
impossible to do in top type.
what
like,
I think they're gonna do for
things.
the next game is it's not gonna be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe 2, but you can now like drill underground or it's like a small mechanic. I think it's going to be a completely new reworking of Mario Kart. Either it's going to be Nintendo Kart or it's going to be
Oh,
Mario Kart Double Dash
I
ish.
forgot about that. I forgot about that idea that people were having.
Yeah, that's like the big thing where because they added like Link and they added Animal Crossing characters and they added
If they do that, do they forever change the Mario Kart brand to a complete? Do they rebrand the series?
I would absolutely hate that.
I think that would be the worst decision because it would
Yeah.
lose all brand recognition.
Yeah, because then it's literally just Smash Bros. Kart.
Yeah,
It's no longer Mario Kart.
Mario
It's
Kart.
just
Literally, people that don't know Mario barely know Mario Kart because it sticks in your brain. It's brand recognition. Like, the name is so popular.
yeah. I don't think they'd call it Nintendo Kart.
But it would very
But-
much be.
It would be Nintendo Kart. It'd be like you're traveling through the different Nintendo games as Mario Cast plus like Link, Villager,
Maybe
Splat
an
Kids.
Inkling, obviously. Yeah.
Not Splat Kids. But
Splat Kids.
I don't. Okay, so next, moving on from. So the
What do
3D.
What do you think the 30 Mario would be?
Yeah, that. So, what I think it is, I think it's definitely gonna be just a straight up, like working off of Odyssey.
Really?
I don't think it's gonna be a big jump from Odyssey, and if it is, I'll be super happy because I don't want it to be like following Odyssey because Odyssey isn't my favorite Mario game. It's probably one of my least favorite 3D Mario games because it's
Really?
not replayable at all, and it's super fun the first time you play it, but you're not gonna go back and try to collect all those like moons. Like
I think I gotta like 100% disagree with that, to be
your
honest.
favorite Mario game?
No. No. But yeah, I agree with the part that is very fun, obviously, the first time around. That's for any game. Ever. For
But
the most part. Yeah, for the most part.
Galaxy is super replayable. Mario Odyssey is not super replayable.
I'd say the
Like
opposite.
you can I can like maybe run around for like an hour or like 30 minutes right now in Odyssey, but I would not restart the game from the beginning and try to beat the game again.
That is
Because
true.
the difficulty is really easy for the main story. And it's just the same worlds that I'm used to, where Galaxy, it's the same worlds I'm used to, but it's like you're doing little tests along the way. You're not running around on like a treasure hunt where you already know where everything's hidden.
Yeah.
Like
I
one
guess it really is based on
you're
what you
building-
prefer in a Mario game.
yeah, well, like one you're testing your skills, the other one you're playing hide and go seek.
Yeah.
That's the difference between Mario Odyssey and like every other Mario 3D game before it. Mario Odyssey is just a big game of hide and seek, which is why they added Luigi hide and seek
Yeah.
later to the game.
Literally there's a hide and seek mode in the game. I've well, obviously Mario Odyssey does have a lot more content in it, but I think a complete replay, I think it depends on what you mean when you say replayability, because I think Mario Odyssey you can go back into the same world and find something new a lot easier.
Yeah, I think you can keep looking for moons,
Mm-hmm.
but that's super boring because most of them are just like
That is
either
true.
hidden nowhere or hidden in like plain sight. You literally just like ground pound and a moon comes out. It's like they're worth nothing.
I think it's for Mario Odyssey is 100% made for people that love open world games.
Yeah.
And also, you know, they like the Mario like franchise, how like the whole world works. And it kind of mixes the two. Like I've heard of stories of people that were alive when Mario 64 came out, and it was the first like Mario or just 3D game for the most part at all that they played, and they were just excited to run around the world and explore it.
I see that in Super Mario 64 because I had it on Virtual Console on my Wii, and that's really all I did. I just would run around in the game.
Yeah.
But
So
I
I
don't
think
see that as much in Mario Odyssey because where Mario 64's worlds I think are really engaging in certain ways, I don't really see it as much in Odyssey. I think Odyssey's like the towns are pretty engaging, like the Toasterine town or whatever in the desert world is interesting.
yeah.
But when you get to the main desert area, apart from a few like parkour areas, it's literally just sand.
Yeah.
And like it's fun to ride the lion around, but it's like
I agree.
I-
It is very once you play it, you've seen it, and
It's
you're
just-
kind of done. Even though
Yeah,
there is a lot more to do. Like,
Mhm.
do you really want to do it?
Yeah, you really want to get 999 moons.
Yeah, I see that.
It's Mario in Breath of the Wild, basically.
I do. I could see Mario Odyssey 2 if they, instead of what they did for Mario Galaxy 2, where they just took the game mechanics, everything the same, added a few new things, and just made new worlds, and just called it a day, and it was still a perfect game, because it's just Mario Galaxy again, with the same level of good ideas. But that was fine, because Mario Galaxy felt like it could have literally went on 3 times the length, and not gotten boring, because of the premise alone.
Galaxy
Mario
is still
Odyssey.
Galaxy's the same, and it's not boring.
Oh yeah. And Mario
I-
Odyssey, I just feel like if they were to make a second one, they'd have to do something different. They'd have to change up the formula somehow.
Well, I think another Odyssey would be fun because, like, what I really wanted out of Odyssey was some kind of DLC where it's like a Delfino Plaza, like, because that was a big thing that was cut from the game.
Yeah.
You can even see from the map where they cut the little dolphin-shaped
Mhm.
island
Yeah.
of the map, and it was in promotional images.
Yeah.
So, like, what I really wanted out of Mario Odyssey was just some more content because playing the game for the first time is an absolute blast.
Hmm.
And there's like nothing like playing Odyssey for the first time. Like, I don't think like I can compare playing Odyssey for the first time to anything besides like maybe Mario Galaxy for the first time.
I agree.
But where it falls is the replayability, and that's why to get that again, you would just need a new Mario Odyssey, I think. And I think that is a really likely direction Nintendo will go in.
Yeah.
And if it's not called Mario Odyssey 2, I think it still will have Cappy in some type of way, because I feel like the Switch really emphasizes Cappy for some reason. And I just feel like he might come back, but I would be super happy if it's a completely new Mario game.
Oh
or
yeah,
something
I think
like
that's
that.
best case scenario always.
Yeah.
I think
Like
the only
I
way
was
they can
scared.
do Mario Odyssey 2 is if they take the same idea and expand it to a point to where I think the biggest thing they can do in it, not only thing, but biggest thing they can do is really take that Cappy idea and expand it to where it isn't just used for the main game's plot. You can literally
Capture anything.
capture almost anything and it not even be important to capture, but you still just can, to make it that much more engaging. Like you're really there. You really can use this hat
I
to
think
like
if
be
they're gonna-
anything.
If they're gonna lean into the open world, I think it should be a bigger open world. I don't think it should have like clear like fall off the side Mario 64 type thing,
Yeah, I agree.
where you fall off the side of the world.
And that would be so cool. Imagine being able to run around a huge world with Cappy. And that's like your only disposable thing. They'd have to find a way to kind of replace Zelda's like weapon mechanic. It can be done though. It's been done for Mario's done everything. So it can be done.
But I think if they did have a completely open world Mario game, it would have a lot of problems, because I think Bowser's Fury is it's a fun game to run around in, but it's a terrible game. Like that could have
Yeah.
never been on its own, even if they made it like 4 times as big.
That game is very overhyped. I don't understand the hype for it.
Like, I think it's fun, but it's just like an absolutely like
It's
nothing game.
Yeah, it's a terrible story.
Yeah, well, yeah, because the cutscenes are all like the cheapest cutscenes ever in any Mario media,
Yeah.
except like, maybe like a one-off, like Fortune Street or something like that. I don't know if that had cutscenes.
Yeah.
Did it? Does Fortune Street have cutscenes?
Probably not. I mean, that's
Well,
like, does Mario
did-
Party
it-
have
it-
cutscenes?
Huh?
It's like the same level as Mario Party having cutscenes. Like,
Or Mario Party cutscenes, honestly.
yeah.
It was like Sonic Adventure cutscenes, which are just the models standing there staring at each other. Okay, next. This is unlikely, but it's sort of like a replacement idea to my last thing, and it goes in line with the 40th anniversary of Mario coming up this year. Super Mario 3D All Stars 2. So, me being the Galaxy fan I am, especially liking Galaxy 2, I was super mad we never got DLC or some kind of like Galaxy 2 on Switch.
Yeah.
So, this isn't just Galaxy 2. This is obviously like Galaxy 2, but and 64 DS, which is a completely different game.
Yeah, it is.
Obviously it has all the same levels, but
Has
you have
more.
4 characters. It has more levels. It's just a completely different game.
Yeah.
And then 3D Land, which is a great game. It's the most underrated 3D Mario game, honestly.
It is very linear. It feels like they took a 2D Mario game and did the
And it
absolute
worked.
least to make it a 3D game, but you know, it works for what
It
it was
worked.
on.
It works for the 3DS, and it like if like they're remaking Dark Moon for the Switch, like I don't know why they can't put 3D Land on it. Like
What I think they'll do, if they ever do this, it would take so much work because the DS graphics, if you have played, I know you have, played a DS game on a TV. The DS games on the Wii U Virtual Console looked so bad. They'd have to upscale that somehow.
Mario 64 DS one, like you can just get rid of the bottom screen because you're not going to be using touch controls
Yeah.
to play Mario 64 DS, because I don't think a single sane person played Super Mario 64 DS with the touch controls.
Yeah.
And if you are sane and played it that way, I'm sorry.
I know there
But
was like
you're not sane.
there was like a some sort of finger pad or glove or something that you could buy that made your thumb kind of like a more slippery or whatever, so it wouldn't feel like you were gritting your finger across a touch screen to like kind of move yourself. It felt like
I guess,
too.
were you supposed to use the pen?
You're supposed to use the stylus, but I mean, the only way to do it would be like to like press the buttons while moving around. You'd kind of have to use your thumb. So
Yeah.
I mean, people made third-party accessories that literally made it to where it felt like you were like the closest you could make it feel to a thumbstick by like getting a thing that slid very easily. I don't know.
So I think the treatment that they gave 64 on 3D All Stars, where it sort of has that like HD look to it, and it
still
like
has
it's
the
sort of
crappy graphics.
yeah, it does, like all the 2D textures look really nice in 3D All Stars,
Yeah.
and I think the characters look really smooth.
Mhm.
Obviously it's just emulation, but I think applying some of that to the DS game would help it.
Mhm.
It obviously would still look kind of weird on Switch, but like I don't want them just to release Galaxy in 3D Land in the
Yeah.
collection. That would suck.
Yeah.
I want to see I want to see the 64 DS game re-released, and I think also it would be possibly even better than the original, because if they actually sort of fix
All the
the way
problems,
the
yeah.
characters move. No, just not even like any problems with the game, just the way they move in 4-directional or 8-directional movement where with the D-pad,
Mhm.
because you remember the DS didn't have a circle pad like
No,
3DS.
no.
You played a 3D game with a 4-directional D-pad.
Uh-huh.
So if they put in the least amount of effort possible just to change how you move in that game,
Yeah.
it would be the definitive version of Super Mario 64,
Oh yeah.
I think. And personally.
Yeah. I think most people could
Yeah.
non-biasedly agree with that.
Yeah, like all nostalgia aside, because I honestly have more nostalgia for the original,
Same.
because I played it on Wii.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Galaxy 2, a slightly reworked 64 DS, and 3D All Stars. That would be, I mean not 3D All Stars, 3D Land and 3D All Stars 2. That would be an epic game.
I think
Um,
throw in 3D World, ditch Bowser's Fury, and then throw in every other game that you just said, and sell it for $120. And I think that would be so fair.
what?
No.
100
Okay, not 120. Either 80 or 70. 70 at the very least.
I don't think they should resell 3D World.
No?
I think that would be stupid.
I mean, think of it as Super Mario All-Stars plus Super Mario World.
Yeah, like maybe they could do it down the line, sort of like how they did that, but I feel like that would be such a like disappointment. Like I would rather them not include 3D World
But then
than
it's like, when you look back at this pack of 3D Mario games, it's every single one except for one. I guess also Mario Odyssey wouldn't be in it either. Ah, I
well,
don't
it's like
know.
the way I used to think of it, because it used to be a viable option for the Switch. I would think about it like we're finally getting all the 3D Mario games on Switch. But now with the Switch 2 coming out, it's gonna be like we have the Switch games, which we can sort of play on Switch 2,
Uh,
and we have this new collection that it's like we finally got the games we didn't have on Switch. Like I don't know how like you can really think like, oh, we have all these games on Switch 2.
yeah,
But I mean you sort of would,
you
and
would, yeah.
I just think if you want 3D World, just buy like they're not gonna throw in like a bonus 3D World. I think they're just go buy 3D World Bowser's Fury.
Yeah, I think they could maybe put some promotional thing in there, being like Mario Odyssey and Mario 3D World soundtracks, and
Yeah. Well, yeah,
maybe,
they would definitely include the soundtracks,
yeah,
but I think if they were smart, they'd include like a museum. Like have you played
yes,
or like seen the Kirby?
yes,
Uh,
yes.
but
They did it perfectly.
yeah, that game is the pinnacle of game collections. That game is that.
Yeah, it really shows what Nintendo can do if they
Yeah,
care.
like the museum section is like on par with like Sonic Mega Collection,
Yeah.
and the the game selection, it's every like main Kirby game from the first on Game Boy to the Nintendo 64 release. Like obviously they didn't include some of the spin-offs, but I think it's a good variety
Oh yeah.
of the land games,
It
and
shows off enough history.
yeah, it shows off enough history, and it has its own exclusive game like mini like game in it too.
Hmm.
So I don't think we're ever gonna see that again,
No,
ever.
no, no, no.
Anything like that. But if they could include a museum similar to that in 3D All Stars 2 or some kind the next Nintendo collection, I think that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Because like little bonus things make the fans who are buying it think that it's more worth it, even though it's literally nothing. It's literally just like, oh, here's a fact about how in 1999 this happened or whatever.
Yeah.
Like in the Kirby game, it says like, 2008 or whatever was also the year Barack Obama was elected or something like that. It's like just a random like fact, and it goes along with like it's like tracking history with Kirby, and like I think that's great.
Yeah, that's
And,
such a cool way of doing
it's a
that.
very Nintendo thing
Yeah.
that I think Nintendo should put in the next collection. An alternative to 3D All Stars is obviously a 2D All Stars, New Super Mario Bros. All Stars.
I have been talking about this idea. I'm gonna kind of speed run the next few games you have on your list just to kind of get them over with. But I've been talking about a new Super Mario Brothers collection for so long now, literally since the Wii U. Before the Switch came out, I was like, there's no way they can continue making these these new Super Mario Brothers games. So, for whatever console comes out next, if they don't release a new Super Mario Brothers game, I think a generation will go ahead, and then the next generation will be nostalgic for those games, because they started in 06, they ended around 2014, so that was 8 years spanned. That's 4 different games. Just throw them all in one collection. Sell it for, you could even sell that for like $70 because it's 4 huge games.
Yeah, well, I don't think it would include New Super Mario Bros. U because Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe,
Yeah.
which includes Luigi U.
Oh yeah, that is too
They,
big of
they
a
wouldn't
thing.
release 5 games.
Yeah.
I think it would be New Super Mario Bros. Bros. Wii, and Bros. 2.
Yeah.
But-
Actually, yeah.
But what I would want, and I would think could work, is they completely remake the games in the U engine. So it's no longer the terrible DS graphics. You're playing basically New Super Mario Bros. U, but it's the DS game.
Oh.
And-
So it's kind of like if someone were to mod those levels into the U game.
Yeah, but it's not like they have the Acorn background. It's like they use like the engine that runs the game, and they just remake the whole game from
Completely
the
remake it from the ground up. I could see
well,
that.
not from the ground up because they can use the U engine.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean,
They
like
could use the
rebuild all
model.
the levels.
Yeah, but yeah, rebuild the backgrounds and the
That
like,
is an
the enemies.
angle. Yeah, that's an angle I've never heard before, and it makes 100% sense.
I think that would be absolutely amazing because even the Wii game is slightly aged.
It is aged. I didn't realize until I went back with Archie recently on my main channel, and we've played it for about 2 hours now. It is aged. It is so disgusting looking. It is like grainy. I'm like, what? I don't remember this game looking like this.
Yeah, even if you use upscaling, it looks nice, but you can still see the Wii models
Yeah.
just
They're
aren't
blocky.
aren't
They're
the same
like
as
jaggy.
they look on Switch. Yeah,
Mhm.
they're slightly more jagged, and I think the 3DS game is the most underrated of the games, just because they think it's like people say it's the most derivative, and I think it is, but it like I don't know. I really like the
What do you
gold.
expect from the new Super Mario Brothers series?
Yeah.
Did you expect a new idea going into it? You
Like
shouldn't have.
honestly, I'm most let down by New Super Mario Bros. U.
Yeah.
The 3DS one, I don't even think lets me down as bad
It's like
because
you know exactly what you're getting.
yeah,
It's kind of a guilty pleasure game.
yeah, the New Super Mario Bros. Series.
Yeah.
Just in general. Because now it's like with Wonder, it's like we don't have to get these games anymore.
Yeah,
And
you're
it's like-
no longer scared of the new generation getting a new Super game.
Yeah. And so I think instead of just making a new 2D Mario game, they can skip a couple years, maybe like work on it. I don't know if they'd make a new Wonder, but like I think they could just re-release those games in the U engine, and it would work.
Yeah,
I do not think they should make them in the Wonder engine because that wouldn't work.
that wouldn't work. Yeah, the
I really
controls
like-
wouldn't make sense.
I really like the physics in Wonder. I think
Mhm.
those are the best 2D Mario physics.
They are a little bit closer to original 2D Mario.
Yeah, I think they're really
physics.
slick. Yeah.
They feel closer to a Rayman Legends or a Mega Man almost than they do a fluid 3D model running in a 2D space. And I think it works in its benefit. I think it should be locked down
Yeah.
a little bit.
I think they almost make the game feel easier
Yeah.
because it's like you have full control of Mario finally.
Mhm.
Because I feel like in the new Super games, you almost feel like you don't have complete control
He
of
is
Mario.
slippery.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
in Wonder, I feel like you sort of have complete control,
Oh,
and that's why I was actually able to 100% Wonder
yeah.
and actually wanted to 100% Wonder.
Yeah, it's very
Um,
fun to control.
Yeah, so I think either 2026 or 27 we could see a Wonder 2 if they are going that direction, or like a Luigi Wonder.
Yeah.
I think like a sort of Luigi U, but for Wonder would be cool.
Yeah.
But I think they'll push off the 2D Mario till later, like they did for the Switch, if they're going with an early 3D Mario.
Yeah.
Then,
Separate.
yeah. Another thing is Mario Maker. If they had a Mario Maker 3 and it's a 2D Mario, that could sort of be like a middle in between the 3D Mario and the later 2D Mario.
I say
But
almost.
I said Super Mario Maker 3D because I think what people
Oof.
want.
That is
is-
too complicated.
You think? Or
I think that's too complicated for the world.
I don't think it needs to be like a 3D game, but it has the 3D themes. So like Super Mario 64 in 2D, but it uses the polygons, it uses like the assets. I think that could work.
I think if they want to do that, do a Mario Maker 3. And yeah, you could call it Mario Maker 3D, or call it Mario Maker 3D. So that way you can still have that little 3 in there, and then it's like a play on words, whatever. The big gimmick is that there's new game modes. I don't think they should just do 3D though. I think keep 2D, keep all of the 2Ds.
Yeah.
And just add 3Ds to it. And it'll finally be what the fan base has been asking them to do.
Yeah, I think in the trailer, like when you play Super Mario Maker,
Yeah.
and like Super Mario Maker 2,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I think it should be like Super Mario Maker, and then Mario like flies in like Galaxy, and he goes 3. And it's like obviously not Charles Martinet, but whatever the new actor's name is,
Yeah.
like he's saying it. It's not the people, because even though it's not Charles Martinet, like it is Mario saying
Dude,
it, and sort of get put back to when Mario would say the title of the game. He'd say like 3D Land or like 3D World, and
Yeah.
I think that would be the like
It would
the
give the game
opening
its
to the game.
personality, yeah.
the best opening to the game, the best like a trailer for the most hype and nostalgia.
I just realized that the next 3D Mario game is going to be the first one ever that isn't using Martinet's voice.
Yeah,
It's going to be a new Mario.
Yeah,
I know.
I think Wonder was his first game, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
It was Wonder, yeah.
We have to look up his name because I feel bad.
He does good. He has
Yeah.
Wonder was his.
He's had some stumbling blocks, like this one ad or something. He completely like butchers the "Let's A Go," and it's just absolutely terrible. But like he has had some consistent work. I think like sometimes he'll like mess up Wario or
Yeah. I think
But
he's gotten pretty close recently. It's been a few years now, and he's gotten pretty good at it. He's not reinventing the voice like people think he was going to do.
I think Luigi has changed enough where it's almost like he's reinventing it. But
Yeah.
I think he's trying to hit Luigi, but his Luigi interpretation is slightly different. I think his Mario is more
It's
trying to
very
replicate.
emulated. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Kevin's Wario is, I don't know. It just feels wrong sometimes. His
Yeah.
Waluigi is fine, I guess.
It's kind of hard to not do it. Like Waluigi's easy. It's just like wah. It's just
Yeah, but I feel like his still doesn't. It doesn't feel like his Wario and Waluigi are sort of off. His Mario and Luigi, I think, are spot on. Even if Luigi's slightly changed.
I mean, Luigi's changed literally since he's been created.
Yeah.
He's never been consistent.
Yeah, in Smash Bros, it was literally a higher pitched Mario voice. They
Yeah.
just took the Mario lines and pitched them up.
It works. Works.
So my next things aren't games. They're
Okay.
actually new retro NSO things.
Okay.
This first one is the most likely. I'm gonna go from most likely to least likely.
That's fair.
I think they all could come. Like all three of them could come, but this is just the order of most likely to least likely. Most likely, DS.
I have that. I have that. I was waiting for you to say it.
Yeah,
Yes.
we had DS on
The Wii U.
Wii U, obviously. So
Okay,
just
I want
make
to talk about this.
whatever with
Hold
that.
this thought. I want to talk about this a little bit later because I have another point to go alongside it.
Okay.
But just for now, I want to say I wrote in my as a note, I said DS Virtual Console. In parentheses, I said it just makes sense. Like,
I mean, yeah, it does just make sense.
yeah, there's literally no reason.
Early rumors were saying things like the Switch 2 might have a second screen.
I'll talk. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I thought
That's one of my
that
points I want to talk about in a second.
would be really cool.
Yeah.
Possibly. I think since we saw Sega Genesis, we could see Sega Saturn.
Yes.
Um,
Alongside, I think Dreamcast would be just as.
I think Dreamcast would come a lot later because Dreamcast is around the same level as
N64 now.
GameCube.
Oh, really?
As GameCube. And yeah, because Genesis was Super Nintendo, Saturn was N64.
That was kind of. I feel like Saturn was almost in between. No.
Well, both Genesis and Saturn came like 2 years before the Super Nintendo and N64. And I think the Dreamcast also came like 2 years before GameCube, but they're considered the same generation.
Okay.
So I think Dreamcast, since it's more on the same level as GameCube, those games are more relegated towards full price remaster remakes.
That's fair.
Well, Saturn is more like lower quality. Like not lower quality, but like it's more retro.
Yeah.
It's N64 level, even though it's only 32-bit, which is interesting because Game Boy Advance is 32-bit, but it's a handheld console. So seeing a home console 32-bit on NSO is different because though my next console is sort of a home console 32-bit console, Sega Saturn would be cool because you have some games like what's the Dragoon something series?
I literally know nothing about Sega Saturn.
It's like an on-rail shooter or something like that, and it seemed pretty cool. I was looking into it. I guess Sonic Jam, even though it's literally just the Genesis games, but you have an exclusive 3D Sonic mode.
Yeah.
Sonic R, we haven't seen re-released since Gems Collection on the GameCube and PlayStation.
Okay.
And I actually really like Sonic R, but most people think it's terrible. I think I'm just weird with that, I guess. But yeah, I think Saturn has a lot of other like fighting games and stuff that are just like Saturn games that no one really knows about because the Saturn sold terribly.
Yep.
And it'd be cool to see on Twitch Online. Some other ones that I didn't include that kind of came to my head. TurboGrafx 16 was on Wii Virtual Console.
Yeah.
And I think it came at the end of the Wii U's lifespan. MSX, that's another one.
I don't even know what that is. MSX.
Yeah, that is like a Japan only console. It was like what Metal Gear released on. And I think Gex. I think Gex released on MS.
Hell yeah.
It was, or Gex might have been Commodore. No, Commodore is a computer.
Yeah, the Commodore 64. Yeah.
I guess the Neo Geo Color or whatever, the little 8-bit color handheld.
Yeah.
Or I guess we can see Game Gear. Game Gear is really possible.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Game Gear could be included in the base model, while Saturn is included in the
$50. Yeah.
and then the DS is included in an expansion.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then my last one, the most unlikely of the NSOs to be added, but I really, really want to be added. Do you remember the cardboard VR on Switch?
Yes.
Do you know what that gives big Nintendo callbacks to?
Virtual Boy.
Virtual Boy on
Virtual
Nintendo
Boy.
would be outstanding.
Yes, I agree. I think that literally it's possible to release all of them too. You'd have the entire library.
Yeah, like, well, some might be difficult because Jack Bros is owned by the Persona series.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Atlas, and that's one of the best Virtual Boy games, and it's also the most expensive.
I think they'd be able to get licensing.
I think they could get Atlas just because, like, I mean, Joker is in.
They have a good relationship with them, yeah.
But like, I don't know about the other games like Waterworld. It's like, you know, the movie Waterworld.
Yeah.
It's a game based on that. And
They
it's
got
game.
they got 007 GoldenEye, didn't they?
On Virtual Boy? Oh yeah, on
the Virtual or Nintendo Switch Online.
That's because that's a loved game.
Yeah.
Waterworld, it's a terrible movie and a terrible game, a worse game than the movie.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll see every Virtual Boy game, but like we could see Mario Clash, we could see Mario's Tennis.
And the thing about this is no one will care after 30 minutes, but who cares? Like you can have your fun with them and enjoy them and just get the novelty of playing Virtual Boy games. Most people don't get that experience. But like it won't last.
They don't even need to be played in VR. Like I think VR is mode, but you don't have to play in VR.
I didn't even think about that. I thought you were just making the connection. I didn't even think, yeah, you could play them in VR. That's how you give people headaches. Nintendo would love that.
Yeah. I mean, I think they would be less likely to give headaches because it's a higher resolution screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously VR still gives headaches even where it's at now.
Oh, yeah.
But I think a higher quality VR could be likely coming to Switch because it's also a higher quality system. And I don't think they're going to do another Nintendo Labo on Switch 2.
Nintendo Labo is a one time thing.
But yeah, like Virtual Boy, it could see the return of Nestor from Nestor's Funky Bowling. Do you know Nestor?
Yes.
The Nintendo
Power, brother.
Yeah. I think Nestor could spin off into his own sports game series. Just because of re-releasing Virtual Boy. And Telur Boxers.
That was a cool game. I've always wanted to try that out.
Yeah. Well, getting Virtual Console emulators on 3DS is actually really cool because the Virtual Boy is 3D.
Yeah.
It has a 3D screen. The 3DS has a 3D screen. So playing Virtual Boy games on 3DS is about the closest you can get.
Yeah.
And I actually have some on my 3DS, and I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to show you sometime, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta show me.
Yeah, so basically confirmed for Switch 2, that playtest game, the one that was like a Minecraft MMO.
Okay.
Where it had those weird, creepy little guys. So basically confirmed Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Yeah. I believe that will be a dual release.
Probably,
like how you were saying earlier. I think it could release July this year. And then possibly in June, we could see Metroid Prime 2 Echoes remastered. Because we got Metroid Prime...
I think they would release 2 and 3 at the same time. Or if not, right next to each other.
Yeah, I think it could be like that. Because I was thinking when they released Pikmin 4, and they released Pikmin 1 and 2 bundle. But where that kind of trips me up is Metroid Prime 1 is probably the most basic game of the 3.
Mm-hmm.
And they sold it by itself for $40. So I don't think
they're gonna bundle it. I think they just release. I think they just release them right next to each other and reveal them at once. Cause like once you reveal the second one being remastered, it's like okay, yeah, obviously the third one's gonna be remastered now. Why the hell would they only do the first two?
Yeah, I think if they sell them separately physically,
Yeah.
um, they'll take away from one the profits of each other,
Mhm.
and two the profits of Metroid Prime 4 releasing within like the next month or so.
Yeah, I guess that is
So
true.
I think they could do like Pikmin, where it was they have an online release before the release of Prime 4, but the
Mm.
physical release is after Prime 4.
Okay.
Not take away from the sales. I didn't even think about how Pikmin 1 plus 2 would take away from 4 sales, but it makes
Yeah.
sense why they released it later
I
now.
mean, it didn't. It didn't. But I mean, yeah, I could see
I mean,
why it would.
it's taking away like the sales in store where it's like a kid.
Mhm.
He has Pikmin 3 Deluxe, and he sees Pikmin 4 and goes, "I want that," or he sees Pikmin 1 plus 2 before Pikmin 4, he says, "I want that," because he has Pikmin 3,
Yeah.
and then a month later, he sees Pikmin 4 and says, "I want that," and his mom's like, "No, I just bought you another Pikmin. You don't need another Pikmin."
Yeah.
It's like the reason why certain kids didn't get a Super Nintendo because it's another Nintendo. It's why
Yeah.
people didn't get the Wii U. It's another Wii.
That's what I
Like
didn't understand about Splatoon 3. It literally felt like it came out a year after the second one. I was like, I don't get the point.
it came out like 4 years after.
Did it
There was
really?
yeah.
Really? It felt
There was
like it was year after year for me for some reason.
Splatoon 3 was 2022. Splatoon 2 was like
No
2017.
way is Splatoon 3 that new. No way.
5-year difference.
Wow. That's crazy. I swear Splatoon 3 came out like 5 years ago.
So yeah, that was just my Metroid kind of thoughts.
Yeah.
For 2D Metroid, I guess I don't think we'll see a new one, but I think we could see either a port of Samus Returns from the 3DS.
Yeah. I think that's
Um,
most popular, or most likely.
that's a remake of Return of Samus,
For
Metroid 2, on
GBA,
the Game
correct?
Boy, on the original Game Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but yeah, like we could also see a remake of um, Fusion for the Game Boy Advance, but I think that's uh, not likely because I think the Game Boy Advance games have aged well, while
Yeah.
and having them on NSO already, they're not going to take them off NSO.
Yeah.
So bringing Samus Returns, where the Game Boy game already being on NSO literally takes no sales away because it's like it's not a fun game,
It's
and it
one out of like 300 games on the service now.
yeah, where Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission are like highlights of the Game Boy Advance library.
Yep.
Metroid 2 Return of Samus is not a highlight of the Game Boy library. And I think Metroid Samus Return is a highlight of the series, which is not very accessible.
Yeah.
And I think re-releasing it would make sense. Re-releasing a lot of different 3DS games would sort of make sense.
Oh yeah, I think we're at that point.
Yeah.
They definitely could have done it a lot more during the Switch generation. I think
think
they just were putting too much
games were-
manpower into Wii U games. So,
Well, 'cause Wii U games, you literally just you don't
yeah,
have to upgrade them as much because they're already HD.
that is true.
Um, 3DS, you sort of have to remake it
Yeah.
because like Luigi's Mansion 2, it's like it looks completely new. It looks nothing like Dark Moon. It actually looks like Luigi's Mansion 3, which looks great.
Yeah.
And it makes me wish they did import the original Luigi's Mansion to 3DS, so we would be more likely to get to Switch soon. I think that will come eventually.
Yeah.
Before Luigi's Mansion 4, we'll see Luigi's Mansion GameCube on Switch.
Yeah.
Next, I think this is unlikely, um, but it's really possible. This is just because of the trends of how it worked on older consoles. But I don't think Pokemon Legends ZA uh, will have a dual release. I think it'll just be on Switch, the original
Really?
Switch. Because the way Pokemon games have released is they don't come to the next console until years, like a year or two later. And while the Switch 2 could be a completely different case, and this isn't even a mainline game, this is like a Legends game,
Mm-hmm.
which are semi-mainline, but I don't even know.
The
I don't think
closest they can get.
it's close. Um, I don't think it will come to Switch 2 because that's just how Pokemon has rolled for the past few years. Like,
Mhm.
Black and White came out the year the 3DS came out.
And
And
still
they-
sold amazing on the
Yeah, it
DS.
sold amazing on the DS. Well, because they probably sold better than the 3DS at its launch. And then, like, I think in the whole lifespan of their sales, they did better than the 3DS did within that span. But
Yeah.
I think the 3DS sold more later.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then Black and White 2 came out a year later or so, and it was still on the DS.
Hmm.
And the 3DS had already been out for a while, and it really needed a Pokemon game to help its sales.
Yeah, Sun and
Um,
Moon came late.
You know, X and Y were the first.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they also
Uh,
came late though.
I think they came 2 or 3 years in.
Yeah.
But Legend ZA is actually, it takes place in the same region as X and Y.
Are you
And
sure? I
Yeah.
I just don't think they would make a fourth almost mainline Pokemon game for one console. You
Oh,
know what I
well-
mean? Cause Sword and Shield, Legends Arceus, Scarlet and Violet, then Legends ZA. That is 4 different Pokemon games.
Well, I think like there is a chance that it will come to Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're gonna follow what they did in the past, it won't.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess they also didn't have the Legends brand yet.
Yeah, well, because also Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out after the Switch was already. Sun and Moon came out while the Switch was already out.
Yeah.
Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out while the Switch was like a year in.
Mm.
So they did it the same for the DS and the 3DS. If they're gonna keep it up with the Switch, I think that would be stupid. But I think if we were to assume that they're gonna follow the pattern, then it would be what it is.
Yeah.
Down the line in the Switch's life, the first Pokemon mainline game or remix, I guess these are remakes that will come to Switch would be remakes of the Black and White games, because the last ones remade were the Diamond and Pearl games, which came before
Yeah.
Black and White. And
Makes sense.
but the way I think they do this, since most Pokemon games have a third game, or like it's a third game where it's basically the same, Black and White had sequels, which are completely new games. So what I was thinking was the remakes are both 1 and 2. And I think that's what most fans are wanting. So I just think that's what they'd go with
Yeah.
for that.
makes sense.
Now on to something that is straight down the line 50-50 for me. What I think Nintendo would do.
I'll split the difference.
Okay, yeah, you can decide.
I'll be the decider. Yeah.
Smash Ultimate Deluxe or just a straight up port? Like, I think it's 50-50 that we will see Deluxe or straight up port.
I think it's
people were
closer
saying
to
the same-
yes. I think it's closer to yes.
Yeah, but people were against this. People were saying that the Switch was going to get Super Smash Bros. For Switch.
Yes, that
It's
is
just going
true.
to be another port game. And it would basically be a port of Wii U. and everyone was saying, "Oh, it's gonna get a port of Mario Maker. It's gonna get a port of Smash. It's gonna get a port of Mario Maker, port of Smash." And then we got Smash Ultimate, completely new game, the best Smash game, and we got Mario Maker 2. It had more stuff.
But one thing I can say, gosh, Smash
Like, now-
Ultimate. The reason people wanted Smash 4 ported is because they were scared of the trope of good game Melee, bad game Brawl, good game Wii U and 3DS, another bad Smash game. They were kind of scared of that. So they were like, we have this amazing game, this amazing Smash game that's fully built, fully made, barely anyone's played it on the Wii U. Why don't they just port it like they have for every other Wii U game and just add more? I mean, there's definitely more to add to it. Why don't they just add more? I feel like people are now at a place where they're like, oh my gosh, Smash Ultimate. It's Ultimate.
Yeah.
How do we go anywhere further from this? What do we add to this?
But I don't know if re-releasing Smash Ultimate or just like, I don't think straight up re-releasing Smash Ultimate would revitalize the fans as much as a completely new release. And I don't know, on the other side, I don't know what, what's the developer's name?
HAL Laboratory was
Sakurai.
first, but then
Well, no, I'm just saying Sakurai in general. I don't know what, isn't Sakurai, he's sort of,
Sora Limited.
he doesn't want to work on a new Smash.
He doesn't, yeah. But he also didn't want to make Smash Ultimate.
Well, I don't think he didn't want to make Brawl.
or
Or
yeah,
no,
or the Wii U one.
Yeah, for the Wii U one, they didn't they announce it, or no, for Brawl.
That was for
They
Brawl.
announced it before he knew that it existed.
Yeah, they
Like, it
didn't
didn't
make
exist.
anything for it. They announced it as if there was something made for it, but there
And
wasn't.
there was nothing. Yeah. So I think Switch 2 should get a deluxe version or whatever, where it gets exclusive DLC, like new characters.
Yeah.
Maybe a new story mode, because Story of Light is sort of just like,
Spirit mode is underrated. It is not. It's not a huge like difference from the main game, but the whole main point of Spirits mode is to be able to one by one unlock characters through it, and I think it does its purpose very well through that. It should be the first thing that most people play in the game. It was for me at least, and it made the experience better.
I think though, like, spirits in general are just like crappy trophies.
I agree. They are a lazy way of making more trophies.
Like, the whole thing about Smash Bros that I really liked about it was sort of the motif of the trophy, where you don't really see it in the original because they're more like toys in that one. But in Melee, you, like, in the intro, you see them like thrown down as like the little trophy toy thing.
Mm.
And then you have like the slot machine with the trophies, and I really like how detailed each individual trophy is in that game. And then Brawl, you see the trophies, but for the other characters where maybe they didn't want to develop a whole 3D model for, they just did stickers or whatever.
I think Brawl's representation was the best of all of the games.
Yeah, definitely. And because they had what was the thing where you could play like 3 minutes of like all these retro games?
Yeah, that was Masterpieces.
Yeah, and they had a long like Wikipedia list of every single Nintendo game ever.
Yep.
So I think that
by
Brawl
dates and
definitely
stuff,
did it.
yeah.
And then Wii U had loads and loads of trophies.
Oh yeah.
So many models.
Or less.
You had pretty much every character you could ever care about.
One thing I liked about the Wii U and 3DS was for the 3DS version, it was very focused on handheld history through trophies
Yeah.
and stuff. And for the home console version, it was the rest of the history, everything else. I think that was
Yeah.
a perfect way of splitting it up and making the games more differentiated from each other. A reason to
Yeah.
buy both. I
Yeah, and they
haven't seen
did it
them
with
do
the stages
something like
too.
that.
With the stages, they had like Tomodachi Life on the 3DS,
Yeah.
while on the Wii U they had, I think I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I think like the Donkey Kong 35 millimeter.
Yeah. The one that hasn't come back because no one liked it.
Yeah. So, Switch, it feels like you only have the stickers from Brawl,
Mm.
and every single character is just a sticker.
And you can't even use them for anything. Like,
Yeah. Like
technically
Brawl, I
you
think
can, but
a book or something.
no, they're used like they're used kind of how custom moves were used in the Wii U version, where like they gave you stats and certain abilities.
Well, I guess spirits are like that.
That's what I'm saying. Spirits do that.
Yeah, spirits are literally just stickers,
Yeah.
pretty much. But they took away the trophies, and getting trophies was one of my favorite parts of Smash for Wii U and 3DS.
Same, because I loved going through the display cases and seeing
Yeah.
everything I got.
Yeah, and I liked completing a display case.
Ooh,
That was
yeah.
like the best feeling
Yeah.
of playing the game. I think I might have fonder memories collecting trophies in Smash Bros. Than actually playing it with my friends, because I feel like playing with my friends, they all blend together, because it's all just like we're all crazy screaming
Yeah.
playing Smash Bros. Where collecting the trophies and listening to the music player, which the Switch does a great job on.
Yeah.
I like the music player on the Switch, but like I just have like really good memories of just exploring all these different Nintendo IPs and seeing my favorite characters and these beautiful 3D models.
For sure. It's a good way of representing everyone. A history of
Yeah.
video games, if you will.
Yeah, I think that's what
Nintendo.
Smash is really good at. Yeah.
Do you have any others? Any other predictions?
Yeah, I'll go through them kind of fast.
Yeah, go. Let's go quickly because we're at 2 hours and
So-
30 minutes. Holy crap!
So Kirby, I think they could just go with 3DS ports. There was leaks about Planet Robobot port or remake coming to Switch. I think it was for Switch 1, but Switch 2 would seem more likely now. Also, another option would be Triple Deluxe.
Yeah.
Because those are both, like, I think Planet Robobot is actually a sequel to Triple Deluxe, but those two kind of go together as 3DS ports. Those are possible. Unlikely, but I would be excited about a new Pilot Wings or Star Fox.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe like Pilot Wings 35 for the 35th anniversary, or Star Fox 99, like any of the other
the other 99 games.
Pilot Wings 99 or 35 or Star Fox 99. Likely Arms 2. This one's self-explanatory. Arms 1 was a unique IP to the Switch, and it did okay, and some people liked it. So
that is very generous of you to say.
It did okay, and some people liked it. I think that's exactly what it was. It did okay, and some people liked it. And
Yeah.
I think within Arms 2, maybe adding like a story mode and like more options of what to do instead of just matches over and over again, and the basketball mode,
Yeah.
or volleyball or whatever the other sports. I think Arms 2
I think
could be a game.
that's one of your tamest predictions, yet one of the least believable in my opinion.
You really don't think we could see another Arms? Maybe not Arms 2, but some Arms game? Like Arms and Friends or something?
I just feel like it's such a cool IP that they didn't do good enough
But
the
they
first
added
time for them
Min
to.
Min Why did they add Min Min to Smash?
Just to get their Switch rep, just to get a Switch representation in Ultimate, because they didn't
but
really have that.
If they wanted you to forget about ARMS, why didn't they put like sniffer clips or something in it? Like, why didn't they put a game that they wanted you to buy?
Because
If
they
wanted-
really tried hard with ARMS, and I think they see it as a very good try at a one-off series, kind of like Nintendo Land. I think they'll treat it like Nintendo Land. To be honest.
Yeah, I think it is likely we could see an ARMS too.
I mean,
but
it's
I
not
agree.
unlikely. I can't personally see it.
I agree that ARMS could also be like a one-off.
Yeah.
Next I have Splatoon 3 Deluxe or Definitive Edition. I don't think we're gonna see a Splatoon 4 because Splatoon 3 hasn't been out that long, but Splatoon 4 could be in like a couple years.
Yeah.
But I think Splatoon 3 Definitive would make more sense.
I think I'll go along. I'll talk about this a little bit later. It's one of my predictions, but I think they're gonna leave a lot of their main Switch IPs alone for a while until until they just release the new game, since it is crossplay.
Yeah.
And well, not crossplay. What is it called?
Wait, what?
What's that called? Not when it's not crossplay, but it's cross compatible or whatever.
Oh yeah, backwards compatible.
Backwards compatible. I think since you can play Splatoon 3 on the Switch 2 from the Switch 1 version, I don't know why they'd re-release the game. I could see them literally just repackaging a lot of games in the Switch 2 box, but it just running on the Switch 1.
Oh, like the Xbox One or something did?
Yeah.
And it's in the case of the new Xbox, but it says like /Xbox 360 on it or something like that.
So it could say
So
like,
it's like they're
Xbox.
saying it's for both, but it's actually just for Switch and backwards compatible with the new one.
yeah, so that way people still buy it. But like they don't have to do anything. They just have to repackage. I could see that
Okay,
happening
so-
a lot.
Yeah, I agree. These last two-ish are third-party games, and I just included them just for fun.
Yeah.
First one's a Sega game. It's Sonic.
Okay.
So these are both collections because I'm not going to be able to predict a new Sonic. Because
Yeah.
you never know where Sonic's going these days.
Always different. At one time, sometimes he's a knight for some reason, and then sometimes he's just running around a huge giant
Don't
world.
spoil. Don't spoil.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I think with Frontiers and Shadow Generations, it's kind of like a Sonic's coming back.
Yeah.
People are like, they think Sonic's good again. The mid 2000s games, 06 and after, are sort of not forgotten, but
Frowned upon.
they're sort of they're no longer as frowned upon.
Yeah.
as they once
I
were.
would say Sonic 06
People are-
will always be frowned upon.
No, but people are looking at Sonic 06 for what it did right now. Their remake, there's a
Really?
remake, a fan remake of Sonic 06 that builds it up from the ground up, just because they can see the potential in Sonic 06. And
Wow.
people are praising Sonic 06 for its interesting gameplay, despite all of its glitches.
Oh gosh, I don't think I can ever do that. I
The
don't think
game
I'll
that
ever join that train.
The game the games, two games that I'm proposing, they're not Sonic 06, but they're right along that flavor of late 2000s Sonic games.
Yeah.
And this option would be Nintendo exclusive, as they were. As you know, Color, Sonic Color was released and it became multi-console. I think these ones would stay Switch exclusive, because Nintendo might make another deal or whatever like they did in the past with Sega. But this is the Sonic Storybook Collection. And it would have the 2 storybook Sonic games, Secret of the Rings, which the gameplay is supposedly terrible in it, but the story I think is pretty strong.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And Black Knight, obviously, as you already spoiled a little bit.
Yeah.
Black Knight is really good, I think. Because I played Black Knight.
What about Unleashed?
Unleashed, if they remade that, it would be multi-platform because it was on the PS3 and Xbox, and it was better on those.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I think we'd actually be more likely seeing Unleashed and Secret of the Rings and Black Knight, but I think it would be a waste of the games not to see those games come again.
Man,
because
I fucking love Sonic and the Black Knight. Like,
Yeah,
people don't know, I love that game.
I do too. I used to play that game so much when I was young. I want to go back and play all the Sonic games.
Yeah.
Just because I grew up like playing Sonic.
Oh yeah.
And like now it's like Sonic's, like they're making like the good Sonic movies. Like Sonic 3 was really good. And Shadow Generations is really good. And it just makes me want to play the older Sonic games and just like play through all of them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I bought all the Wii games. I call them the 4 Sonic Wii farts of video games, because there really are just like silent games that, I mean, I guess Unleashed got a bit of a following. And then Colors got...
No one likes the Werewolf, though. No one
Yeah.
likes the...
And Colors is only popular now because it got re-released.
I think people liked the gameplay before, but like the story in Colors is like non-existent.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, I feel like most people don't know of these games. Like, they're not very known. And they're good enough.
And I think it's not weird to have Sonic as a werewolf now.
No.
Like, it's not as weird as it was then. Like, obviously, it's still a little weird because, I mean, it's a hedgehog turning into a werehog, whatever that means. And, like, obviously, I'm not saying they should re-release every Sonic game from back then. Like, I think they could remake 06 and actually make it playable. And I think we could see that come again. But I don't think we'll see Sonic 4
give Sonic 6 the justice it needs.
Yeah,
Sonic 06.
I think, honestly, if they re-released that, I don't know what they'd call it. Because calling it Sonic the Hedgehog, like it was named, is deceiving because of how poorly it was received.
I think they would call it Sonic 06.
That would actually be pretty cool if they called it Sonic 06. I think it would be pretty cool. Because everyone would be like... Because everyone knows it as Sonic 06.
Yeah.
So they're seeing the worst Sonic game on the shelves again, and they're like, Sega really has the nerve to do this. That game would get so much coverage if they re-released it.
It would be like, this fucking stinky turd is back on shelves for some reason.
But like, if they reworked it and it was actually a good game,
then
like, people would care about like Silver as like a character.
Oh yeah.
People would like, they'd still hate the part where Sonic kisses the human because that's
the game is still weird. It's still a really weird game.
Like there's definitely some parts where it's just like it's Sonic 06.
But I'd love to see Sonic kissing her in full HD.
Have you seen the original design where Sonic was supposed to have a human girlfriend?
No.
Well, so Sonic was supposed to have this blonde girlfriend named Madonna. So really, Sonic 06 is just a callback to the original design of Sonic where he was supposed to have a human girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if they were going for that angle or if that's just my thinking.
Yeah.
If they were going with that, then that'd be kind of crazy. Because,
I think they were just weird.
yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
I think they were like, Sonic is dead. What are we gonna do? They were like, the girl who kissed
throwing a
him came
girl.
back to life.
Yeah. How to
They're like,
revitalize Sonic throwing a random human.
it's like, how do we up the stakes? Give Sonic a love interest. Yeah, but he doesn't like Amy. Whoa, why don't you give him a human girl? You'll make it look like a JRPG.
Yeah. It looks nothing like what it is.
Because like you go from the like weird like polygonal, low polygon adventure humans to the super high resolution. They don't even match with Sonic at all humans.
Yeah. Sonic 06 is so weird. It's such a big jump for such a dog shit game.
Yeah, they were like, we need a completely redesigned Sonic for this. This is gonna be the new Sonic. It's like,
I mean,
it was the new.
It kind of
the
was. It is.
Yeah,
It just
It
sucks
went
that it
into-
had to happen this way.
the 2010s, no one likes Sonic era.
Yeah.
So another Sonic. This one would release on all consoles. It's completely remaking the adventure games.
Oh.
I think most people that want Sonic Team to remake games, they want them to remake the adventure games.
Do they even need to remake them, or do they just have to re-release them?
I think they have to remake them.
Really?
I
I guess at least HD upscale them.
Well, because not even just that, because there's people that say that the original Dreamcast version is better than the GameCube version,
Yeah.
which
I've heard that.
GameCube version is supposed to be like an improvement. So I don't think they could just straight up like remaster the GameCube version or GameCube / like PS2 PS or whatever PS2 Xbox version.
Yeah, whatever
because a
consoles
lot of
came out back then.
Yeah, it was like 3 consoles and the Dreamcast version.
Yeah.
Since that version's deluxe, DX or whatever, and if they would have to remake that version because it has more content,
Uh-huh.
a lot of fans would be disappointed because they think the Dreamcast version's better. So I think just like don't choose one or the other. Remake the game, remake Adventure 2 also, and just they don't have to release them together. They could just one at a time, and I
Yeah.
think it'd sell the same either way.
I think
It'd be smarter.
I don't
Do
think
them
they
separate.
have to do a full remake. I think all they'd have to do is a remaster. Kinda not from the ground up making the games. Else, I think you might lose a little charm from the original games if you do that. I think just whatever needs to be updated, update that. And then keep everything else. Like, update the models of Sonic and all the characters and stuff. Update some of the
Yeah,
models.
I mean, don't change the game at all.
Yeah.
It's like, the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake?
Uh,
Like, that's more than a remaster. They did it from the ground up.
yeah.
They remade the game. Or like the Link's Awakening game. They're both the same exact game, but it's completely remade, like the graphics.
Yep.
And I don't think they should use a modern Sonic design. I mean, like modern, like the current Sonic design for Sonic Adventure Sonic. I think they should use that early modern, like one that they used in the Dreamcast version,
I agree.
where he's sort of halfway between the classic Sonic and the
Modern.
like where he's starting to go into Sonic Heroes, Sonic Adventure 2.
Mhm.
Because Sonic Adventure, the first one, and 2 have completely different models. And I think sort of showing like the progression of Sonic
Oh yeah.
is sort of like a part of the charm of the game.
We could
That-
finally get a lot of these beginning of Sonic 3 or 3D Sonic. Just get the history of that on
Yeah.
Switch 2.
Yeah,
Because
because
it's not represented anywhere.
and they gave us Origins recently, which was Sonic CD, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Knuckles. And I think that is something that really captures the 2D Sonic, classic Sonic, really well. and sort of revitalizes like sort of that like Mania feel, where Sonic Mania was classic Sonic, and then you had Sonic Superstars was classic Sonic, and this is all like people are excited about classic Sonic again. But with Shadow Generations and Frontiers being like 3D Sonic games that people are actually caring about, I think 3D Origins or just the adventure games in general is something that Sega should look into.
Oh yeah, it would work out for them. They could finally show off games that actually were worth a damn, but
Yeah.
people would actually care this time around.
Because people would retroactively look back at those games that people liked and just said they sucked because it was cool to make fun of Sonic in 2010.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I think giving those games a second chance is something that Sega might be willing to do now.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I think they're going for more risky stuff. I think
They've
they're-
got nothing to lose now.
Yeah.
What are they scared of? Going out of business? They already did that back in 2002.
Okay, so my last game, Mario plus Rabbids 3. That's it. It's probably gonna happen. I think it's really likely. That's it.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
it. That's a
think this
given.
needs discussion.
Not a lot to say on that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a few more things I want to bring up just real quick. I already talked about my wishes. A lot things I thought were a little bit less likely, with a few exceptions in there. But I still really want like the open face dock and stuff. But
Yeah.
these are more predictions. Even if I don't want these, this is what I think will happen. This is like probably most likely. So one of them was DS Virtual Console. We already talked about that. But something that goes alongside that. I think that, yeah, you started talking about it a little bit. The dual screen playing. And I kind of think back to the Wii U with that. And I think it's only going to be, I don't think it's going to be all of the console all the time. I think there will be a way to switch it on and off. And it will only be for certain things. They've realized it can't be for everything. It can't be the whole gimmick of the console. It can be part of the console and it can work.
So are you saying TV and Switch?
And
Or are
Switch,
you
both
saying-
playing at once.
Okay, so like the Wii U.
Yeah, literally just
Oh,
think
what?
the Wii U. So it would.
The Switch isn't the console. What is powering the TV?
I think
Is it-
streaming it to the TV.
Okay, yeah, streaming it to the TV, yeah.
Yeah. So I think there
So
still
you
should
think
be a
there'd be-
little bit of something in the dock that
Do you think there would,
makes it to where you can stream to it
Mhm.
and have
Do you
that
think there
dock
would-
on at the same time to power something into the TV.
so now the dock has like technology in it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there wouldn't really be input lag because the Switch is sort of talking to the dock, and then the dock is
It's just displaying onto the TV. Yeah. I think,
You
I
can
mean,
do straight switch to like basically nothing dock. Then I think there'd be a really big input lag, and
yeah.
a lot of people wouldn't. Because some people are like 2-frame input lag, and they're like freaking out. Like I
Yeah.
can't know. But like
it's not
some
very
people,
noticeable at 2 frames.
yeah, but they're like 2-3 frames. They're like, I can't land my jumps anymore.
I
It's like
mean, I think it would most likely be used for some Wii U ports that couldn't be done before, some 3DS games that could be remastered or ported and better. You could use that second screen on your Switch if you want, just an option.
Yeah.
And specifically for the DS games, I think that would be perfect.
But it's not like a second attachable screen. It's just the TV switch.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
because
I think like the TV could display the main screen, or it could display the second screen, and vice versa for the Switch.
Okay.
You could just do Switch by itself, or just TV by itself. Very customizable.
Yeah, I remember seeing something about like rumors about the Switch having 2 screens, just like like a DS,
Yeah.
which I found hard to believe. But like, do you think it could be possible that for DS Virtual Console, like maybe you turn the Switch vertical, and then that's how you, because brain training on the Switch,
Mm-hmm.
like it, uh, you use it virtual or vertically, so that like it's a bottom screen and a top screen like a DS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's still touch controls like the original.
So I think
Um,
that would just
you-
add to the
yeah,
custom I don't know, custom ability.
mm, of the DS NSO.
Yeah.
Do you think they would have custom Joy-Con uh, attachment so you could have the Joy-Cons on the side?
No. No, I do not. I don't think they do that, but I could see them
How would you be able to do
since
it vertically then?
I
Because now all
think
games are only touch control.
I
It's
think
like
they would add or make a kind of what they did for the N64 where they released the controller. They did the same thing for the NES and SNES and Genesis, blah blah blah, whatever. I think they'd add some sort or make some sort of accessory that would take advantage of the USB-C ports on both sides, on top and bottom of the console, since there's two,
I saw
and
that.
have a way to plug it in when you're portable, and it would kind of be an extra kind of DS feeling controller that wraps around the back of the console, and you can play vertically.
Oh, so like the back of it, it could have like adjustable like things. So you adjust it out, and then when you put it on, you like screw in the USB or something.
Yeah, or
and
just
you do it-
plug it in, just two USB-Cs on each side.
Well, like so is it two separate sides of the DS,
I
or
could
they
see it being two separate controllers that you plug into both sides, or just something that wraps around the back and then
Yeah.
also plugs in. So that way
that's
I didn't think about that until just now, to be honest. I didn't even think about the vertical.
for the portable consoles though. So far, they haven't released any controllers.
Yeah, no.
So I think I thought like seeing a Game Boy ish controller, or like Game Boy Advance ish controller, where it's not obviously like the console, but it's sort of replicating the feel of the console. I think that would be pretty cool. I don't know how that would look or be like at all, but I
Yeah.
think that'd be cool.
I think
And
at,
I think
at the
I think
very
it'd work
least,
best with the DS.
yeah, at the very least, I could see them finally releasing Joy-Cons that kind of, at the very least, have a color scheme kind of close to buttons and the faceplate of some of these portable consoles. And if they're really feeling frisky, maybe for something like the DS, they could add a actual D-pad onto the left Joy-Con. And maybe just for the feel, get rid of the control sticks and make these Joy-Cons like $40-$50. And they just feel like the DS controls, which that's 99% not gonna happen, but it'd be cool.
Yeah, so it'd be like Joy-Cons with no gyro, no
Yeah,
rumble, no like all these extra features, sort of like the NES controllers for the Switch, which can latch onto the sides,
exactly.
and they'd sort of latch on to the Switch. That'd be cool if they were like Joy-Cons, even if they were like the new magnet ones,
Yeah.
where they attach to the sides. And so, in horizontal gameplay, they work as normal Joy-Cons. But then the way that you said the add-on things on the sides of the console, you could plug it into the sides, and then though it sort of puts like Joy-Con like metal tracks there, so they can attach onto the side like a Joy-Con
Yeah.
would in horizontal.
Yeah. There's so
Um,
many possibilities there.
The only
Um,
problem I could see with that though is if it covers the fans,
oh yeah. Where
which
where that was exactly where the fans were. The USB-C on the top is like right in the middle of them. Yeah.
yeah, on the normal Switch it's kind of like
You
just
could always you could always make a breathable area like in the back of the
yeah,
controller holes or something.
yeah, sort of have like a vent.
Yeah. And you just feel the fan on your hand or something. I don't know. They're Nintendo. They got workarounds.
Yeah,
So,
or they could just when they actually release it, just put fans on the back because the
yeah.
normal Switch has fans also on the back
Oh yeah.
and then the top. So maybe just put like bigger fans in the back and then fans on the top of the back too. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how fans actually work like in consoles.
Yeah.
I would be
They're
totally
important.
wrong.
So, that was a good point to bring up.
They are really important because it overheats the system. It could
Oh yeah.
break.
Yeah, and then they get lawsuits.
Yeah.
All
My
right.
son broke his hand on his Switch
Yeah.
because he bought
Or
the DS accessory.
Nintendo makes accessory that makes console overheat and break. And then it's like
Nin-
Nintendo breaks their own consoles.
Nintendo makes new explosive Nintendo consoles. Thanks to DS accessory.
Double
Um,
entendre.
reminds us how terrible Nintendo has always been retroactively. Nintendo will become the new Sega.
Ah, that's never happening at this point.
No,
Wow.
honestly, Xbox is probably most likely to become the new Sega.
Oh yeah.
Because they're literally releasing their games on other consoles now.
Yeah, they're not. I think this is their last time making a console.
The Series X is just done. It's just that.
Uh,
And then Sega will come back.
just to
They're-
release Black Knight.
Yeah. On their own console, the Sega Uranus.
uh, okay, so I'm gonna go fast on this one. I think it will sell very fast at first. I think it'll be the biggest launch of any console ever.
Do you think it will sell out though? Like because Nintendo said they'd overstock it.
I don't think
Or-
it'll sell out, but I think it will sell fast. I think it will. It won't have
Not
the.
day one, but it'll be soon.
Yeah, I think within the first week to month, it'll sell. I think within the first week, it'll sell at least 1 million units.
Like will it be hard? Will it be hard to find them like in the store?
No. Only reason the Wii was hard to find in stores, for months is because they did, I forgot what it's called, but it's like they naturally, it wasn't natural scarcity. They specifically made less consoles, so it felt harder to get. So more people kind of was like part of the craze, like, oh, we gotta find a Wii. They're impossible to find.
Well, the Switch at launch was sort of like that.
Yeah, I think that was less natural though. They didn't mean to do that.
Yeah. Well, because the PS5 also did that too, and there was a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of scalping. The PS5 was like,
That just sold
Maybe, like,
really
people-
well because it was like new gen PlayStation. Makes sense.
Yeah. it was basically PS4 Pro.
Yeah. But I think Switch, I can't say because whatever happens after the launch window, that's based on what they do. But I do think it will sell more than any other console has in the first week, if not the first day. I think it'll have the biggest launch of all time. Because it's literally it's following up the third most popular console of all time.
I think it will sell exactly as much as they produce. Because
I agree.
I think the I think the demand will maybe slightly exceed the supply, but
Yeah.
since it seems like they're kind of trying to supply a lot.
Uh-huh.
I think it'll be closer than it was for the Switch.
They're
Where for
supplying so much that there's leaks everywhere.
yeah, yeah. It's like they most of their income, I think, like that they spent as a company was like last year was for producing Switch 2 consoles, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
Or it was like a they had a big spike like 1 month.
Yeah.
It was all to like producing, I guess, like the chip it has or whatever. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
It was
All
something
right.
like
So that was just a quick one. I think something that is a possibility, a pretty big possibility, if not 50-50, I think it's closer to 50-50 for me, is upscaling some Switch 1 games. So,
yeah, that was already a rumor. The
Yeah.
4K.
so I don't want to talk too long about it because it's a rumor, but I did come up with this idea before it became a rumor, so I'm gonna count it. This was in my brain first. I just wasn't the one who rumored it. Just basically taking Switch 1 games, but not re-releasing them. Just when
Yeah.
they're played on this new hardware, maybe it'll
It
have you
upscales.
update the game or something, and it will just AI upscale it. Or, if
Oh,
not,
so
upscale it.
It doesn't upscale like while you're playing it. Like downloads something
Yeah.
into it.
It's gotta,
Okay.
like, download, like, a pack, like a texture pack in Minecraft or something.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so...
think the only annoying thing about that would be if it creates any artifacts, since it is AI.
Yeah.
But it would definitely be better than like a PS5 released like Spider-Man Remastered, where it was like a like small upgrade to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But because I heard some like old rumors where Breath of the Wild would be re-released and a Switch 2 update
Yeah.
of Breath of the Wild. And if they're gonna go with the 4K upscale whatever thing, I think that's like pretty much never gonna happen.
No, yeah, no.
Update Breath of the Wild, and I didn't want it to happen anyway, so I kind of hope there's 4K upscale just so there isn't a Breath of the Wild update game.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, I'm, like, really excited to see Nintendo finally hit, like, close to perfect graphics. Like,
Yeah,
when you look at the Switch, play any Pokemon game, if you're, like, 20 feet away from the TV, you can see the pixels in the game. What?
I mean, really any Switch game.
Any Switch game.
If you get close enough to the TV, it's sort of like you can see the imperfections. Like 1080p is really good. I think in the TV mode and even on the small Switch screen, it looks really nice.
Oh, yeah.
But just not even just the graphics, but the processing power.
It
Like,
can't handle it.
Yeah, like the open world Pokemon games specifically,
Yeah.
where it renders in the actual Pokemon, the far away, like you can see like a Gyarados or whatever like flying in the background, and it's the most choppy animation and low quality rendering like ever in like any game, and it
Yeah.
looks bad.
It makes the game look worse than a 3DS game at some points. And
Yeah,
that's...
Legends Arceus and Scarlet and Violet are what made people think that the Switch was no longer a powerful console.
Yeah.
That was where people started wanting a Switch too.
Where literally the Switch has hit its limit. Like, over the years, it slowly got pushed, not a lot, but slowly got pushed more and more, to where it would make games not just look good, Breath of the Wild, but look great. Imagine something like
Link's
a
Awakening.
Xenoblade game or something, but you can really tell. You can tell that they look great and that the Switch can barely handle it.
Well, I think the Switch handles Breath of the Wild fine.
Oh yeah, that because it's not fully being pushed yet, I feel.
Well, I don't think Scarlet and Violet push the Switch to its limits. I think they utilize a lot of it wrong.
Mm.
Where they could have maybe instead of trying to render the Pokemon like that in the background, they could have used a workaround or something to make it look better. I think you sort of have to utilize the hardware in different ways instead of trying to render a lower poly model. They could have just rendered just like not render it. Just don't even have it there. Have it
Yeah.
appear when you get closer. Even things just like suddenly appearing when you come closer, like in some other games that would do that, might be more appealing than seeing that floating around.
Yeah.
But like in Breath of the Wild, you don't see that with faraway enemies. They are rendered correctly, and I think Tears of the Kingdom looks great.
Yeah, they
And
really made that game feel good. It does not feel choppy at barely
yeah, like,
anywhere.
I think really it isn't that the Switch can't handle the games. I think it's that they didn't utilize it to its full like ability and
Mm,
take like into account its shortcomings.
yeah.
But with a Switch 2, I think the process will be a lot more seamless,
Yeah,
and
they won't have to try as hard.
you won't be able to notice those things as much, and we can push games just to like the next level.
Oh yeah. The power supply on the Switch 2 is really gonna help it.
Yeah. I also read something faster SD cards. I don't know
Yeah.
what that means.
I think they're gonna try to use a specific type of new micro SD card. That's like specifically
expensive?
faster.
Like, what does that mean?
They're not making it. There's a type of SD card, I'm pretty sure, that's faster, that's already exists, that they're gonna start using specifically. Like, you can only use that type of SD card.
Yeah, but what does a faster SD card mean?
I don't know. Because I think, isn't it just like a storage?
Yeah,
Like
it's literally just storage.
Uh,
Like, does it mean when you put it in your console, it's like, oh, there's an SD card, like right away?
I don't
What is
know. Maybe it just
faster?
makes games download faster or something. I don't know
I guess-
how it would though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one annoying thing about the Switch, all the downloads. Like, you get a physical game, and then you have to download it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to download the updates that it has day one.
One
Like-
thing, one thing I can say that it might do, which I mean, who cares? But when I was switching SD cards from like a smaller one to a bigger one for my Switch recently, it the process was so god awful. It was literally I had to take my SD card, transfer all the game. No, okay, put in my new SD card first. Transfer everything that was on my Switch's storage, put it on that SD card, put in my old SD card, transfer as much as I could from that old SD card to the Switch's storage, take that SD card out, put in the new SD card, move that stuff from the storage to the new SD card, and do that over and over until all my stuff was off my old SD card. I mean, you could technically get a PC, and then just get a multiple SD card reader for like $20 or something, and do it that way, but not everyone has that.
Your computer doesn't have SD card readers in it?
It has one, but you would need to have both of them in there to transfer it. So I mean, the only way I could see that, because that process from moving stuff from an SD card onto storage or vice versa literally takes like 20 minutes
Yeah,
just to do
them.
it once. For some reason, all you're doing is moving storage from one thing to another. I don't know why that takes time to load, but whatever.
I think to download onto the SD card.
Yeah, I guess, but maybe that goes faster or something, which that's so insignificant, but it's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I don't really know how faster SD cards is something for the Switch necessarily. It's just something for the SD cards.
Yeah, just them trying to upgrade, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, okay, I got two more things. I'm gonna do the shorter one first. I think people will be unhappy from the reveal trailer. And not that it won't be living up to any expectation. I think people will just be underwhelmed because there won't be a lot of new in it, which is to be expected, but people don't understand that.
I think that will happen unless the game, like if it's showing gameplay of a game that looks good. Like if it's showing gameplay of a 3D Mario or a new Zelda, I think it will be the complete opposite.
Oh yeah, that's true because the internet goes crazy for the game, not the console usually.
Yeah, it depends on what game they're showing.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I think the Switch console itself, like it doesn't matter what it is. It could be like a portable PS5 and like the crowd would go mild. But if they show like Mario Galaxy 3 and like some crazy Ocarina of Time 4K game,
Yeah.
like it's gonna go like crazy.
Everyone would be like, "Whoa, that's the game that we've been wanting and didn't even know."
Yeah. And like they won't even talk about the game at all. It'll just show like a guy like playing on a Switch for 3 seconds, and it's like Link like moving, and then he puts it in like the dock, and it like goes to the TV for a second, then cuts to something else.
Yeah.
And just seeing that for 2 seconds will make everyone go crazy, even if it's not like a real game and it's like a tech demo.
Yeah.
Like they'd still go crazy.
Yeah. And then okay, so that was just a simple, real quick one. My last prediction. Wait, we already talked about this. The C button being mappable. I already talked about it. Never mind. Those are my predictions. So, well.
Yeah, the last question felt like a final question. It was about the actual thing.
Yeah, that was the final one. I went out of order because I saw it. I just forgot that I already talked about the C button. Do you want to talk about the C button real quick? Just a little
I mean,
more
I
in
don't.
depth.
I saw it and was like, everyone's like, oh, what could it be? What could it be? I'm like, I don't care. Honestly,
Yeah.
I want the Switch 2 to come out because I want a new Switch because mine's broken, and I
Agreed.
want new games.
Agreed.
Like-
We've come to expect the end of a generation.
Yeah.
Now we're in the beginning of a new one, so we're gonna finally get games that are for a new generation, not just trying to fill in the rest of an old one.
Yeah, I don't think this generation is gonna be filled with Switch ports.
Yeah, no.
Or hope it isn't. I think any ports will come from the Wii U 3DS back. I think the farthest we'll go for ports are GameCube
Oh yeah.
and DS. I don't think we'll go as far back as Game Boy Advance ports or whatever. And I think as far up as we'll go for Nintendo Switch Online is DS. I think that's the farthest we'll go. I don't think we'll see 3DS online. I don't think we'll see GameCube online. I think all GameCube games that they want to re-release, they'll re-release as remakes, remasters.
Yep.
I think we could see more Sega or other consoles on NSO, like TurboGrafx.
Oh yeah.
Neo Geo. I guess Commodore.
Hell,
Yeah, Saturn.
television. Why not?
Yeah, and Atari. Atari can release their own collection.
Yeah.
Like anything that isn't releasing its own collection, besides like Sega, they had their own collection, but they came to Switch anyway.
Hell,
And they deleted their collection from the store.
let's throw the Soldier Boy handheld on there. I talk about it in my new mainline video for like 2 seconds. But Soldier Boy, during the Wii U era, made his own handheld console, and console, and it was just ROMs of Nintendo games. and he got sued to hell and back from Nintendo. But it was really funny because he would like tweet things like, "I'm just a boy with a dream getting sued by Nintendo," and all it is just like a ROM hack console.
Yeah, honestly, what Nintendo should just do, instead of suing the fan creators,
Yeah.
they should just steal their games and see how they like it.
They don't make any games. They just ROM. Oh wait. What do you mean? Like all the modded things for their games that they do?
No, yeah, like you know the Metroid fan game AM2R or whatever,
Yeah.
AMR2. It's like another Metroid 2 remake or something.
Yeah.
Just steal that and put it on Nintendo Switch and be like, "Ha, how do you like it now?"
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Sue us?
Yeah, we took your free game and now we're charging people for it because that's RIP. not RIP.
They just
our IP.
they re-released Waluigi's taco stand. Who knows?
Did you know that Mega Man or like Capcom? There was like a fan-made Mega Man game, and Capcom like officially like licensed it. They were like, "Yeah, this can be an official Capcom game."
Wow.
And then the fans were like, "Okay, cool." I think more companies should do that.
Oh yeah. They don't even have to do the work.
Yeah, like literally just be like, "We'll buy that game from you."
Works. All right.
And like they could even like hire them as like new direct like a gaming.
Oh yeah. Just be like, you can make a game if people give a shit about it. Work with us.
I hire them.
Yeah. You don't even gotta pay them a lot because they probably just like to be a part of your fan base if they're making games for you.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about the Switch 2 for 3.5 hours now. I think, I was feeling bad that I wasn't really getting in on any Switch 2 content because literally everyone else has been. People that don't talk about video games have been talking about the Switch 2 leaks. So, literally just went over everything about the Switch 2 for the most part. So yeah. I think that was a good list. Or, not good list, I didn't make a tier list video. I just defaulted settings in my brain. I think that was a good talk about the Switch 2. Got some things finally talked about. Alright. Thank you, Ethan, for coming on. If you guys want to go see him anywhere, his channel, Nintendo Greats. He's made 2 videos now. He's working on more. And they're pretty good. They're good sketch comedy videos, and they're about Nintendo, just like we've been talking about for the last 3.5 hours. So if you're at this part of the video, and you're still listening, that means we're interesting enough for you to stay for 3.5 hours. So just go and watch his videos. You'll probably like it. I can't guarantee anything, but you'll probably like it.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe to this guy. Yeah, he's cool. Thank you everybody so much for watching. That's about it. See ya.
Yeah.